Welcome back to 10 Podcast. I'm your host, Robert Grout, and I'm sitting in the ASM Motorsports studio, and I do not have COVID this week.
Yay!
Across from me is my co-host, Adam Nielsen, who also does not have COVID this week.
Allegedly.
There's not a plexiglass thing between us, but that's fine.
There's always, like, the doubt in the back of my mind. Like, are these sniffles allergies, or am I dying?
That's the exact thought process I had last week, where I'm like...
I mean, I'm always dying a little bit inside.
We are one day closer to death every day.
And thank God for that, too, frankly.
Yep. Yeah, tomorrow I'll be another step closer, followed by another...
I don't know where that step... Where the last step is.
Yeah, it could be.
But I know I'm closer to it.
Yep. Here's some life philosophy for you. In 100 years, you'll be dead, and none of this will fucking matter.
I was going to say something. I was going to say something completely different to start the show off, but that's where we're going. So I'm going to leave it. I'll leave that thing that I wanted to say for next week.
Yeah, positive. No, 2 weeks from now.
Next show.
Yeah, we'll declare it right now. No effing way am I doing a podcast next week.
No, it doesn't sound like it.
No way.
No. My boss had the audacity to tell me today that it feels like we're catching up.
Oh, that son of a bitch.
So I probably won't have time next week either.
No, you're going to be so busy.
What a fucking dick.
That is so rude.
What a dick.
Oh, someone said that at work the other day, too. I was like, yeah, things are going really smooth.
Why would you do that?
Oh, it was about nonconformances. So if
we haven't had a plane fall out of the sky in at least 3 months.
Oh my God, that's actually not true.
Oh no!
I mean, again, it has nothing to do with us, but yeah, that's not true. But nonconformance is so something that falls out that's abnormal.
Yeah.
Which obviously takes a lot of time to disposition. And it's like, oh yeah, we noticed that you haven't had a lot of those lately. Why? Now I'm gonna have 40 of them tomorrow.
You get out. You get out of here.
It's so mean. Like, why would you even say that?
It's just rude. It's downright rude.
Just put that
up. It's disrespectful. Fireable offense.
Yeah, putting it out in the universe like
that.
Why
would you do that?
Oh, you have plans this weekend? Yeah, it looks like it's going to be great. No chance of rain this weekend. Dick.
Yeah.
Adam, is it hot in here? I think I'm going to take off my sweatshirt.
Oh, no. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. You got to be fucking kidding me. Who, Robbie?
What?
Why?
Oh! Did you notice my awesome shirt that I got?
Oh, Jesus Christ! I'm gonna kill James. I'm gonna kill him.
I've been sitting on this shirt for weeks.
God damn! It was James, wasn't it?
It could have been anybody.
Which James? Because frankly, I could see James Chartres doing it too.
It could have been anybody, Adam. My address is just out there. People know it.
Not like mine, apparently.
People send me gifts. And this gift of a t-shirt that is a picture of you and the meme of the Return of the King is my new favorite Grid Life shirt that I'm going to wear all the time now.
I fucking hate.
For the record, this shirt doesn't fit very well. And it's like the neck's all like stretched out and it's like kind of short.
Why?
It's just it's a Hanes. It's a Hanes shirt.
Oh, it's a nice shirt.
No, it's a terrible shirt.
It's a good shirt.
It fits terribly.
Oh, well, you should let me have it. I bet it fits great on me.
No. This is my new favorite shirt. I'm going to wear it everywhere.
God damn it. I hate everybody.
It's the best. It's a gift that keeps on giving. So if I wear this to Topeka, it'll make me happy all day.
I don't think my dad's going to make it.
Why?
Which means I don't have to see that stupid shirt that he has again.
I want to see it.
He's on call.
Damn it.
And so I don't think he's going to show up.
How far away is he from home? So if you
Topeka's like 3 hours.
So that's outside of the window.
It's well outside of his window.
Okay.
Especially since he kind of lives on like
the edge of
basically the south edge of his area.
Oh shoot.
And Topeka's farther south.
Yeah. Shoot.
So
he's gonna miss drag racing.
He is, which I cannot get him to bring his car anyway.
Really?
Yes, because Topeka is not only an NHRA sanctioned track, but like the NHRA sanctioned track.
Yes.
And so, like, I feel like there's probably a handful of the really fast Grid Life cars that could probably go faster than what they would technically be, air quotes, licensed for.
Right.
And so, like, if they would show up and do those times at a normal night, they'd probably get kicked out. And Topeka might let them slide.
Yeah.
that night because of the situation and because they don't know any better. But like if you show up with a full-fledged tube chassis drag car, like
I think that he'd probably get away with it just because it's the Grid Life exhibition. Like it's obviously not.
I don't know if
not the same.
So yeah,
it's easier to ask for forgiveness, Adam.
That's what I tried to tell him, but he's not having it.
That's more life philosophy.
I just really want to see that car there because I think people
I do too.
Will be like, oh my god, that car is fucking rad.
Yeah, we heard about it on the podcast
because it's a cool car to see. Like it's rough around the edges. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
but like it's a really neat car.
The best cars are that way, Adam.
Yeah,
just a little
race
character.
Cars should also be like in your face.
Yeah.
People out there with like single tone cars.
Yeah, that's boring.
Get out of here.
Well, I already know that my livery for next year.
Street cars that are also track cars, I get. But like if this is a full-fledged track car, be a little bit ridiculous.
Be loud.
You know what I mean? Like let the world know that you're a ridiculous and over-the-top race car.
Yeah, it needs to be attention grabby.
Yeah.
Like the drifters have that right.
Yeah, that's one thing the drift community gets.
Yep. And it needs to be a little flashy, a little like louder than like not like physically louder.
Right.
It doesn't need to be a GT500 Mustang.
I mean,
but like it needs to catch your attention.
Yeah.
And look great in photos.
Yeah.
And you know what does that? Bright colors.
Yeah.
Yellows, blues, reds.
The other thing that I wish the Grid Life community would embrace is over the top and ridiculous driver t-shirts like circle track drivers have.
We almost went that direction in the last year because like that GLTC shirt that was kind of that way. Yeah. That time that track battle shirt was kind of that way.
Yep. But I want individual drivers to have those shirts. I would buy those.
We should totally make one for me. Like
if there was a Robert Veerhout t-shirt and it was written like that stupid like half torn away.
Yeah, the sprint car font. Guys.
Yeah. And like there's like a headshot of you on the back and like your car on the front says Robbie Veerhout and then like your number.
Yeah, Robbie Veerhout Racing.
Yeah.
Number 95.
Yeah, I would totes buy that.
I think Nick Steniford kind of did something like that. I mean, it wasn't over the top like that, but he had like a proper like Nick Steniford Racing shirt. And I was kind of like jealous of it. I was like,
yeah.
He clearly sold those to a decent amount of people because you saw people like at Grid Life and like around like even events he's not at. I'm like, he has supporters. Right. That's nice.
Yeah, we should throw those. We should get some of those shirts.
We should put it on our podcast.
Like I want those shirts from like a bunch of the drivers.
We should be taking this more seriously. Track battle, GLTC, whatever.
Right.
Similar to like how the stock car and the sprint car guys do it.
Right.
And just have our own like.
But it should be over the top and ridiculous. I should be mildly embarrassed to wear that shirt in public.
Yeah. Because
that's what I want.
Because when you're walking through Walmart, people are like, "Why is this shirt so loud?"
Yeah.
Who's Robbie Veerhout?
I want people to assume I'm white trash, trailer trash, redneck wearing your racing t-shirts.
That's the attention we all wish to have.
That's the level of over the topness I want in driver t-shirts that should be being sold at pop-ups in front of those race cars at every event.
Yes.
That is one thing that Grid Life drivers don't have figured out yet is marketing.
Marketing themselves.
Outside
of Instagram.
Like, because honestly, at a festival event, like at Midwest Fest, if people had those had shirts hanging, they'd sell them like gangbusters to the GAs.
Yes, they actually would.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, go to any local circle track, and then you see those guys doing it. Like, you're like, who the hell is Joe Guy? Whatever.
Right. But there's
like 1,000 people in his shirts.
Dude, Catil would make a killing. Between like his Honda hot boyness and his frankly incredible Instagram game.
It is strong.
And the way that his car looks. If he had one of those t-shirts and he had a booth set up, his girlfriend would not be able to take money from people fast enough.
That's a true story.
Because he'd be too busy driving. Like that would literally be all she would be able to do.
Yeah, he's driving. She's
selling t-shirts. And like that'd pay for the season.
That would be sweet.
That's where we're messing up, dude. The merch game for individual drivers is not on point enough.
They do have websites that have the templates to do those.
I know they do. There's whole booths of those companies at PRI.
Yep.
Yeah.
I wonder how Dusty would feel about making me some over-the-top racing shirts for next year.
Yeah.
Match the new livery. I could just debut my new livery and my new shirt at the same time.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
Maybe some Robert Vierhout racing trucker hats.
Yeah.
And just stuff.
Yeah.
Don't get too crazy because you're going to end up costing yourself a lot of money.
Like cut-off shirts and cut-off jeans.
See, that's too far.
No, it's not far enough.
No, I'm not wearing cut-off shorts.
That's because you don't wear shorts.
That's true. I don't own a single pair of shorts.
But others wear shorts, especially in GA.
That's probably true. But, like, who's going to be a pair of shorts? A T-shirt and a hat. Those make sense. The rest of that stuff, that's too far.
You're probably right.
Hoodies are too expensive for the average fan.
But you need crop tops for the ladies.
I don't think you'll sell those very well either.
No, you won't. Just look at our website.
Right, exactly. Which is very difficult to get to. It's kind of our own fault. Go to Facebook, click on shop.
1010's podcast.
That's how
.storenvy.com.
That's how you get to our store.
Yep. There's shirts and stuff.
And stuff. But yes, that's what I want.
I'm in on that. I like that a lot.
Yeah. Race team names.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. Like, there's a lot of those time attack cars that would play well to that. Or the GLTC guys. Like, Swenson. You see all the ASM crew wearing ASM shirts, but you can't buy an ASM shirt.
No, they should be selling those.
He's got a whole army of people. He should have a booth.
I'm surprised he doesn't.
Just saying.
Does his website have a merch area?
I don't know. Probably never been on it.
I don't remember.
I don't know what his website is.
I think it's ASM Motorsports.
I doubt it's ASM Motorsports.
AS Motorsports. Andy Smegard.
It might be AS Motorsports, but the M in ASM stands for Motorsports.
Right, yeah.
So
No, it's ASM Motorsports. Duh.
It's Automatic Teller Machine.
Shop ASM or Motorsports.
It is Shop AS Motorsports.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
They got it all. Yeah.
But like
I've been on this before. Team ASM.
They should sell those if they have shirts. They should sell them at
apparel
events.
They have apparel.
Is there a Super K shirt on there? Because I actually do want the Super K shirt.
Oh, you can get it on their website. Oh, they have. But they should totally have a booth.
Yeah. Our drivers are not playing the merch game hard enough.
Oh man.
Like at a Heartland, it's probably maybe Heartland, but like some of those events, it makes sense not to bother. But at festival event or even like Mid Ohio has a pretty big crowd that pulls into it. The Autobahn event, they have a pretty big crowd because there's a car show there. Mm-hmm. The Circuit Legends event,
yep, that would be good.
Like I feel like you could probably sell some T-shirts.
I think so. Well, look at Heretics Time Attack. They sell shirts.
Well, yeah, but most of those have just been bought by buddies too. Like, yeah, I have both of them, but
they sell shirts.
Yeah, they have set up.
They
had a few at the events. Yes,
and we had to fight that guy because he was trying to steal one.
That's true. That did happen.
He wanted it so bad. He was willing to steal
one of the Iowa Man shirts.
Oh, I thought
he stole one of Dalton's shirts.
Either way, we got it back.
That's true. We did have to almost Rochambeau, really fucking fight that guy.
Yeah, he was dead serious about stealing that shirt.
He came back the next day.
Yeah.
He was so upset.
He was mad that we stopped him from stealing from us.
Yeah, we disrespected him by stopping him from stealing our T-shirts.
Yeah. Some people's children.
Drunks.
Yeah, that's probably
not a driver.
Definitely not a driver.
Just saying, he was not a driver.
And I never saw that guy again.
Yeah, we don't want to go there. Anyway.
Yeah, remind everybody, head over to factorfabrication.com for all your fabrication needs. Booney will hook you up with custom furniture, rails, cages. It's getting to be about that time of the year where you start planning for next year already. So if you need to do some cool stuff to your car in the off season, like a roll cage or a roll bar, or just some like cool fabrication stuff that just needs someone that's good with metal and welding, Booney and Max are your guys. Factorfabrication.com.
What are you doing with the Factor Fab team in the coming weeks?
So next week, so if you're listening to this as it comes out, I will be going with the team, we are going to Autobahn with meeting Stratus Racing and a handful of other teams, and we're doing a private test days.
That's going to be so dope.
On Monday and Tuesday. Yeah, it's actually
2 full days.
2
That's
full
so
days of
crazy.
Autobahn private testing. So
That's
it's
so cool.
Going to try to take full advantage of Charlie and the Stratus Racing team and just like pick their brains, because they've been very good about sharing insights and data and like tips and whatnot. So I'm hoping to, with it just being like a handful of us there, that we can all be laid back doing our thing and then just all progressing together.
Yeah.
Obviously, we'll be progressing further from them, but that's fine.
Yes. And then you have Sebring. Is that the only race left this season?
That's it.
And that's in
Halloween weekend.
Halloween weekend.
Yep. So we got 2 test days here to start the month. Then I have Grid Life finals in Topeka.
Yes.
And then I'm helping at the Mid of TT event at RPM the following weekend, the 15th. It's
Not
just
driving?
Just a single day event. No, the Z's done for the year after Topeka.
Okay.
Just going to park it and then kind of start planning my rebuild, I guess, fixing.
Again.
Hopefully it's nothing major beyond what I already got. And then there's a break, and then we go to Sebring. And WRL is doing it big for Sebring. This is their first official like spectator event.
Oh.
So they're having like camping and GA, and I want to say
Damn it, right.
that they got stuff going on out like in the evening besides what on-track activities.
That sounds so cool.
I can't remember the specifics of it.
So I've heard that the 24-hour at Sebring
Is a party
with a race
Uh-huh.
in the background.
Yup.
And like I've heard that there's people who like they line up days in advance and they have their spots and it gets real dumb.
Yup.
So that could be an interesting weekend for you.
Sebring could be
If you
fun.
could be like a mini 24-hour at Sebring,
Yeah.
that would be pretty cool.
That'd be wild.
That'd be really cool. That makes me super...
Assuming there's a track at the end of this weekend, because there's currently a hurricane.
Oh, shit. That's right. Yeah.
Right now.
We've already been asked if we were sending crews.
Yeah, I believe that.
We are not.
I mean, there's multiple people in the GLTC that had tickets that are selling their tickets because whether it's their work or whatever, that they have to go to Florida because they assume it's going to be a catastrophe, which it appears to be.
Not going.
You're not going to Florida?
Right.
Yeah, okay. Yet.
No, I'm not going.
Okay.
If I wanted a traveling job, I'd have one.
That's fair. You had one at one point.
I did. Many, many, many moons ago.
Yeah.
Hated it.
I get that.
But if I wanted to be a storm chaser, then I'd work for a company that chases storms. I specifically chose the place I work at because we don't do that. Local storms are different. I get that.
Right.
And I want to be a part of the rebuild locally because there's some feel good to it. But like, I don't need to go help the people in Florida who have been hit by 10 hurricanes in 10 years. Like, at some point, you just got to give up on Florida, man. You just got to accept that that's not where people are supposed to be living.
It's fine. I love Florida. I'm excited for Sebring.
I'm sure you are.
I am. It's gonna be great.
I'm excited for you being excited for Sebring.
There is one event I wanted to do, and obviously my schedule is not going to allow it, but I know a lot of people can. So if you were listening and hearing my voice, Rev Match Racing is doing a 3-day event called the Midwest Track Tour. That would be the weekend of October 21 through the 23rd. So it's doing a track day at South Haven, Michigan, at Gingerman on Friday. Then you hightail it to Autobahn, where you do a track day on Saturday. And then you hightail it to South Beloit for Blackhawk Farms, where you do a track day on Sunday. So I think it sounds super fun. The code for 5% off is 10/10. You can listen, if you can't remember that, just look at the description of this show. The link is also there. I was planning to make it, but this October got busier than I mean, I knew it was going to be busy, but it got even busier.
Unless you towed the Z from track to track, which kind of
defeats the purpose for me.
You don't really have a thing to do that with.
No, because I look at this and go like, well, you kind of want to treat it like a cannonball or like a one lap.
Or, yeah, a mini one lap.
So you drive to each event. But
since the Mini Cooper is being a British Mini Cooper,
yeah, it's just going to stay there. I'll eventually think about fixing it or not.
I think you should just K-swap it.
It's really not that much more expensive than replacing this 100,000-mile engine, isn't it? It's just so stupid. So stupid. Literally, a 100,000-mile engine is almost twice what I paid for the car.
Well, there's a reason that when they're broken, they're so cheap.
Yep, because it's so expensive to fix them. So, yeah, no, just taking an engine and putting an engine in, unbelievably expensive. So, like, whatever, if I have to, I'm going to take the engine out and I'm going to have to, like, find exactly the point that part that failed and replace just that, whether it's the block or something in the head. Like,
but that's probably not that cheap either.
No, but it's still not $3,000-$4,000.
Ugh, it's so dumb.
But a K swap, the kit's like $2,600. Then you get a K.
The motor's like $400.
Yeah, actually, the reason I've talked myself out of that is because let's say I get a K engine and trans and the kit. Then I have to get the axles, and I think that those are like $1,000.
Oh,
because they're custom drive shaft shop axles.
Yeah,
and I think that so the kit's like $2,600. Plus, you have to buy the axles, and there's no price on that. I'm pretty sure it's like very expensive.
That sucks.
Yeah. No, if it was like $2,600 plus the K engine and trans, we'd be having a different conversation. But I think it's closer to the $5,000 mark by the time it's all said and done.
Well, even if you bought a $2,600 kit and a $400 engine, you're not done.
No, I'm fully aware of that life.
You've made that because I suppose you could use the factory wiring harness on the K series, and you could use the factory.
The kit comes with the harness,
and you could use the factory. You use the factory ECU, I assume.
I'm not sure how, because like all the instrument cluster works, so like it spiders in somehow.
Okay.
Supposedly it's just plug and play. Their harness connects to whatever part of the harness, and
that's got to be a tight fit because K series engines are really tall.
It's not the shortest of engine bays.
Yeah, it's still got to be a really tight.
It looks like it fits perfectly in there. There was one with a turbo in it in the picture. I've looked into this way more than I want to admit. Because I like the Mini. I want to.
Oh no, I
get
it.
But I don't like that engine.
Yeah.
And the K engine sounds great. That'd be a great car.
Yeah, it'd be like twice the power that came in it.
Yeah, it'd be super
Still
fun.
be naturally aspirated, so you don't have the headaches of the S model with the forced induction that always causes headaches.
No, like
It'd be a great little car.
It'd be a blast.
It'd be so much fun.
Yeah.
To just like do random track days and like
just drive it,
take it to local TTs, and then drive it to work and get 40 miles to the gallon.
It'd be perfect.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. No, if maybe, I'm just sitting on it, so eventually I'll come up with a plan, and maybe that's the plan. But
so what I'm saying here is, if anybody sees a K-swap, a mini K-swap kit for sale,
yeah,
send it to Robbie. Post it on the group.
Yeah, so everyone
so that we
sees
can all tag Robbie in it.
That's actually, I'm not mad at that. Actually,
that's where I'm at on this.
It's like every time I see it,
because if we can find Robbie $1,000 K-swap kit, then suddenly $1,000 axles doesn't seem that bad.
I'm a lot more in on it at that point.
Yeah, he'd be dumb not to.
Yep, I'd be good with that.
Right.
We can start building that project.
We had already last week we had found you a K in a box. Which
it sold immediately though.
It was the right amount of disassembled for you to buy it,
and
then annoy me by you just throwing it back together again. And it worked.
I would have checked some stuff.
Perfectly fine.
Would have got new bearings and rings and stuff.
So annoying.
Shit just works.
It doesn't though, Robbie.
It's like carburetors. Just throw them on and they work. It's magic.
Don't get me started on carburetors.
But yeah, so if you want to do this cool track day event, I do want to hear about it because I'm disappointed that I don't get to make it.
Yeah,
but it looks super fun, and it's going to be with a bunch of fun guys and gals. So it's going to be a really good event, and looks like a lot of fun.
Ugh.
We have a topic.
We do.
I've been sitting on this for a while. Chris, fan of the show, had brought this to me. And I've kind of thought, every time March rolls around, I think about something like this.
Yeah, a March Madness thing, because you're a big March Madness guy.
I follow Iowa State basketball.
Right.
And I like college basketball even more. Like, I used to really follow the NBA, not so much, but like college basketball I follow, and I'm a big fan of Iowa State, obviously.
Right.
And then March, like for the first round of the March Madness, I kind of prioritize watching just all of it.
Okay.
That's kind of like I get into it. I get into the madness that is
having literally zero interest in basketball or college sports or anything like that. I do often enjoy the upsets that always happen in round 1 of March Madness.
Yep.
Like nothing makes me happier than the fucking the 32 seed winning the first
it's a 16 seed, but yeah.
Whatever.
So who was I dating? I was either dating Elizabeth, and it had to be when I just started dating Jess, because it was the first time in history that the 16 seed upset the number 1 seed.
Wasn't that
Virginia lost to whoever, Popcorn
I thought
State.
you and I had done it.
Yeah, but they've never been a 16 seed.
Oh,
They were always like a 12 seed or whatever.
okay.
So
They were
in the history of the tournament,
okay.
never had a 16 seed upset a number 1 seed. And
Dude, that's the best.
And it was like the record was like 500 and whatever to 0, and so like it happened.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was Virginia, and I was like super pumped about it, and like and Jess was just like, so you don't get it. It's a 16 seed.
No, like I don't care, but like the level of upset that people get, like my fucking bracket is ruined, bro. It's ruined. First round and it's already ruined, and they're just like so mad about it.
That's how I am with fantasy football.
And
My team sucks already.
I love that. And also, I can get behind a Cinderella story. I can get behind that. That's cool.
Yep.
Even if I don't care.
No, like Florida Gulf Coast, when they made that big run a handful of years ago, I was a Florida Gulf Coast fan for that week.
Well, you and I
super
has
pumped.
done it more than once,
Yep.
where they've made it shockingly deep into the
Sweet
tournament.
16, yeah, it's awesome.
So
Then it finally comes back around. The team that's supposed to win slaughters them, and then they go on to Then it's Duke and North Carolina in the championship again.
Yeah, but like it's still fun.
Yeah,
and nothing makes me happier than people getting that mad about something that could not matter less.
Yes. No, I remember when
Like
I was taking
boohoo, you lost your $20.
Sometimes it's more than that, Adam.
Well, that's true.
So in the spirit of the bracket, Chris Reister, friend of the show, has gone back to previous episodes that we've done where we did our
He
FM.
put some serious work into
He did.
this.
So
I can appreciate
on
that.
episode 211, and I think it's episode 71. Not important right now.
Yeah.
We played the games of Fuck, Marry, Kill.
Uh-huh.
So we picked cars, and so I brought some for you to choose between. You brought some for me to choose between. So of those cars, we have the cars that we chose to keep.
Yep.
So marry.
Yep.
And then the cars that we chose to crush.
Yep.
And then Reister here made a list of all of the cars that we each chose to keep,
Yes.
as well as all of the cars that we chose to crush. And now we are doing it elimination style. Pick your car you keep forever based on the keepers you have chosen in previous episodes, and the worst of the worst car you're crushing because it is the worst car of all of the cars. And I have your bracket and my bracket right
Okay,
here.
I was trying to save this on my phone. So
I couldn't do it very well, so I just wrote them out by hand.
Well, I have
my printer stopped working.
I have Excel on my phone, so
So how do you want to? I brought, on brand. You have 17 cars on your bracket, so there's a buy for one car. I have 14 cars on my lists.
I think we just go through
You wanna go
like
back?
from start to finish on one of your brackets and then one of mine.
Go back and forth.
I don't think we go back and forth. I think you just finish a bracket and then the other guy will finish a bracket.
A round or the whole bracket?
Well, just do like the winner bracket.
Yeah.
And then I'll do my winner bracket. And then you can do your loser bracket.
I got you.
And then I'll do my... Because otherwise it gets confusing, I think. And this way we can focus. As a listener, I feel like that'll be easier to follow.
That's fair. So I don't think he took the time to seed them,
Some of them I think are
but I think he mated them up pretty fairly.
Yeah. Yeah. They're like the F40 and the P1 are grouped together. He didn't put the F40 and a Previa next to each other because that would have been too easy.
Yep.
So like he put the time into kind of listing them out in like categories.
Yep. So let's start with my keeper list.
Okay.
Do you want to read them?
I can read them for you, and then you can decide what you're doing.
Okay.
So I remember some of these, so I can kind of talk about them.
Memories came flushing back.
So I remember I did a couple of what at the time were some of the like top level worldwide time attack cars that I was most interested in.
Yes.
And one of those cars is what the team calls the 1-to-1 R8, which is a twin turbo. I think it's actually a V8 and not a V10. I can't remember now though.
That sounds right.
But it's a twin turbo, whatever engine, wild, arrowed out, world time attack competitor Audi R8.
It doesn't have wings. It has tables.
Yeah, it's
a splitter the size of
it's
two of these
quintessential
tables.
like big wing unlimited time attack.
Yep,
for sure. And then Robbie picked that one. The R8, the 1-to-1 R8 as his keeper in that particular round. And then the car he's going to have to choose against, which I think I already know what he's choosing. There was one where I tried to force him into choosing an Audi TT.
Yep.
And I was not successful.
Correct.
He chose, I gave him a good car, an R34 GTR.
Great car.
Because I didn't want him to pick just because it was a two bad cars. I wanted to give it a really good car with a really bad consequence.
Yeah.
So the consequence to taking the GTR was that there's an Imagine Dragons CD on infinite repeat that you cannot remove.
That's so mean. What
Right.
I've done a lot of bad things in my life, but that's I don't deserve that.
But the flip side of it was the Audi TT with a video screen radio and a repeat of Butcher Baby's music videos.
That's such a good option though.
And you chose the R34, Robbie.
I did choose the R34. I could get over it. I convinced myself I could get over it.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's round one for your win bracket.
The 1-to-1 R8,
yes,
which is a completely over the top time attack build.
Yeah.
Or we didn't get into specifics, but it's an R34. We'll just say it's this blue one in the picture.
Yep, GTR.
It's got some tastefully done mods. Nothing over the top. With some
but that Imagine Dragons CD on.
It's
just,
and the volume knob is broken.
Yeah, probably. Probably. You can't shut it off for sure.
Radioactive.
Just repeat. Every day you're getting into work, like, man, I don't want to go to work. Wham! Hits you, Robbie. Imagine Dragons.
That would wake me up. Obviously, I'm taking the 1-to-1 R8.
Oh, really? Hot damn. I thought for sure.
I'm not listening to Imagine Dragons when I can listen to the R8. Are you kidding me? Out of your mind?
That's fair. That's fair.
I don't know. Like, these are keepers forever, so it could sit next to the Mini Cooper when they're both broken.
Still driving my fucking Focus.
Because that doesn't break.
For you.
Not only that, when Jess, I think I talked about it on the show, when Jess had it jumped a couple times.
Oh, yeah,
it killed a bunch of fuses.
Yeah.
And so the radio died. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Right.
So I went through and one by one checked every fuse. And there's a few dead fuses. All right. Replaced all of them. Check engine light's gone. Everything's it's perfect. Everything's just running perfectly. The radio's back. There's no check engine light. Everything works except the air conditioning. And you know what? I might actually fix that over the winter just because.
You put an amount of effort into that car that I really couldn't have because I needed it.
I get it.
You know?
Yep.
But and I'm glad that it's working out for you. But it's also kind of frustrating.
I understand. Because that's all reliable for me now.
Yeah.
It's almost at 200,000 miles now. I'm going to hit that here pretty soon.
That's crazy.
It's kept almost 7,000 miles off my truck in the Edge this year.
Yeah.
It's the best car.
I don't know. My Blazer's pushing 300K now.
No shit.
Yeah. I only drive it twice a year though.
Yeah.
But it's pushing 300K.
And then when you
didn't talk about that.
You did when you said you battery was dead, so you just went and jumped it and then just drove it.
So I had to drive it last weekend when I went to the Pontiac Uprising with my dad. I had to get to my dad's house, and my wife and kids didn't go with me.
Okay.
So I had to do that again, jump start the Blazer, put some air in a tire, drove it to my dad's.
Totally uneventful.
At 4:00 in the morning. Because I kind of got, I could either drive down there Thursday night, or I could get up at the butt crack of dawn on Friday morning. And I had kind of a shitty Wednesday night into Thursday, and then had to do a little work on Thursday. Mm-hmm. And it's like, it's easier for me to get up real early and drive than it is for me to try and not fall asleep and drive at night. So I went to bed, and I got up at like 3:00 in the morning and drove to my place of work, swapped vehicles, jump started the Blazer, had the cigarette lighter air compressor, got the tire aired up a ways,
and off you went.
Off I went. Air conditioner doesn't work anymore. It's bled out, which is expected.
I was hoping that was all the problem, but that was not
literally the second time I've driven it
whole year
this year. The last time I drove it was when I took it to Omaha for Super Lap.
Wow.
And otherwise, it sat in the parking lot at the place I work at the whole fucking time.
I mean, you got to appreciate that it just works.
It just works. After you jump start it.
Yeah, of course.
But I mean, it just works.
It's got a battery drain.
Yeah.
All right.
So
next one.
Number 2. I don't have any background on these. I don't remember these specifically. But a 2002 STI, which I don't think we could get an STI bug eye in the United States of America.
I don't remember.
So I don't know. Either way. And a G8 GXP.
This is a good matchup because
They're both 4-door kind of fun cars, which Robbie in the past has not been super keen on 4-door fun cars, but they're also
there's a couple that,
but they're also not like dumb over the top,
right?
4-door fun cars.
Yeah, no, like if there were two to pick between,
yeah, these are totally sensible. These are not out of the realm of like Robbie daily drivers in my mind.
No, so it'd be I got this. I'll be quick. So it's a G8 GXP. So it's the big V8.
Yep.
Which is awesome.
Yep.
Or the 2002 STI, which I do like those that year of.
Bug Eye's my favorite of the WRX.
I think we talked about it on the show that Andrew, my roommate in college, had one. Not the STI, but he just had a WRX.
Yep.
And like I'd never been in one at the time, and he drove it to class. I'm like, this is fucking nice. It's a nice car.
They're not bad cars.
It was like I couldn't believe how light the door was because it was like aluminum, and it was just like it doesn't weigh anything.
Well, yeah.
But I'm going with the GXP.
Yeah, boy.
Obviously.
Yeah, boy. I mean, you can't not, right?
Because the G8 is so good. And Luke Stilley made it great.
His is so cool. I just love it so much.
So good.
Yeah.
It's the best drift car ever.
It is. 4-door drift cars are the best drift cars.
Big drift cars are better.
Big body drift cars.
Yes.
I don't like big body drag cars.
Nope.
I do like big body drift cars.
We agree completely.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. So, next up, another match I don't really have any background to. I don't remember specifically.
I want to say... I can't remember specifically.
I'm sure that this one came from me. Probably both of these came from me.
Yeah, for sure.
Toyota Previa, which is basically an MR2 minivan.
Yep.
Mid-engined. Could get them supercharged. They're rear-wheel drive, Robbie.
Yep.
I'm just playing it up. Or the Caliber SRT4, which apparently make pretty decent rally cars.
Did I even take a picture of that?
No,
I thought I did. I went through.
I was like, nah, fuck it. I'm not even,
I went through and saved all the pictures.
I think it's on my list too. So maybe you can find it.
I think I saved it in your list.
Maybe you can find it in there. But yeah, Caliber SRT4, kind of an atrocious little car. He didn't get either one. That's funny.
No, because I think you kept it. Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
I thought I did.
Oh, look at that.
All right.
Caliber SRT4.
Which looks kind of like a shitty minivan.
Yeah,
just smaller and uglier.
It doesn't have the most important thing about a minivan, though, Robbie.
Manual transmission.
Sliding. No, they're all probably. Actually, I think they're all manual. The SRT4 models.
Are they?
The Neon was all. You couldn't get an automatic.
Good for them.
And
That's how
I
it's
would
supposed to be.
assume that that's probably the same way with the Caliber.
Good.
But it doesn't have the one thing that is the most important part about a minivan, which that is not a minivan. It's a small
I know it
crossover.
is.
It's like the size of your RAV, except lowered.
And it's bigger. The RAV4 is smaller. Not the new RAVs, but the older RAVs.
I don't know that it's that much bigger. They're pretty
it's more
small.
it's more like a Rogue.
I mean, it's built on a Neon chassis.
No, really?
Yeah, it's a Neon.
They're that small?
It's basically a Neon station wagon.
You're not selling me on this car.
I'm not trying to, Robbie. I'm just trying to put out the facts.
Yep.
But it doesn't have the sliding doors in the back.
No.
And that is the most important part about a minivan.
You're right.
No more door dings. So, or a Previa, supercharged, Toyota reliability, rear engine. I've seen drift versions of them. Look like an egg. They're great looking vehicles, Robbie.
We have our first upset of the weekend. It's the Previa. I'm taking the Previa.
And it's not really that shocking to me.
Not taking the Caliber.
That one's going to be a harder decision for me than it was for you.
The next one.
This one's going to be not that tough for you, actually.
No, it won't.
One of my favorite cars ever. Well, actually, both of these are probably, if I had to make like a top 3 cars of all time list, these
It's
are probably
close to that top 3.
probably in the, I don't know where they'd land, but they'd be on that list.
Yep.
Top 5 for sure. The Ferrari F40,
Yep.
one of the greatest vehicles of all time.
I won't disagree with that at all.
Just an incredible piece of machinery. And the McLaren P1.
Yep.
Again, one of the greatest cars of all time. An incredible piece of machinery. I watched just last weekend, Chris Harris's video with the hypercar trio of the time.
Yep.
The LaFerrari, the P1, and the 919.
918.
918. 919 is the LMP car.
Yep.
And it just made me fall in love with the P1 all over again.
It's probably one of the most aesthetically pleasing cars ever.
And it's also one of the,
and the
like, just an
best
incredible performance car.
Yep.
Like, I realize that the 720S is probably just as fast or faster.
Don't care.
But I wouldn't take the 720S over the P1 in any situation. Ever.
Well, like the Senna is faster.
I would take the
doesn't look-
P1
it doesn't-
over,
it doesn't
I'd
look
take
as
the
good.
P1 over the Senna.
For sure.
I love, like, pretty much anything McLaren does. I love it.
I can't really disagree with any of
I
that.
really, really like if I was a rich guy, I'd own a multitude of McLarens.
I could be a McLaren
Guy.
snooty guy. Like just
Oh, for sure.
what's the word I'm looking for?
I feel like you don't have to be a dick like you do with a Ferrari.
No, I think McLaren like it's niche. I don't want to say nichier because it's not.
No,
like,
but they're eccentric.
yeah,
I think you got to be a little eccentric, a little weird, which is fine. I'm good with that.
yeah. No, honestly, I cannot explain why. Like if that was an F50, it'd be a harder decision for me.
Yeah, yeah.
For whatever reason, I have the F50. Like I think it's
I don't get it.
I don't. But it's obviously the P1.
Yeah,
because that's one of the best cars ever.
Honestly, I think, yeah. I get it. I'm not even going to argue with you. So, up next, a 98 NSX. Cool cars. Great cars.
Probably the best car Honda's ever made.
Yeah, I'll say that too. I'll go with that. I mean, it's no Odyssey, but it's probably still the best car they ever made.
This is probably even easier to work on.
Or another just stunningly aesthetically pleasing car. The FD RX-7.
Probably one of the best cars Mazda's ever made.
Oh, the best car Mazda's ever made?
Yes.
The best.
Yep.
For sure. This is a toughie.
This one's
These
hard.
are two of like these are very similar cars in the enthusiast world. They kind of both
they're held in
the same
the
niche.
high regard.
Yeah. They're both incredible halo cars for Japanese like classic manufacturers.
Mm-hmm.
This is a tough one.
This is harder than I thought it would
And
be.
like
And
you really want an FD.
You do.
But do you want to deal with an FD?
You really don't.
But like a Honda it's stone dead reliable, but I don't know that it has as much of the excitement and stupidity that I kind of want.
See, I think a couple of years ago, I would have been like, FD, no problem. I think I've totally 180'd on this.
Yeah?
Like in the last handful of
The
years.
NSX is a driver's car.
Yep.
Which you used to be all about, but now you've got a bunch of nannies in the Z, so I'm not sure that's where we're at anymore.
Well, it can't be anything better than mid-pack without them. I'm going with the NSX.
Yeah?
Yep. I wouldn't call this an upset, though.
I don't think that's an upset either. No.
This is one of those where you're like, I'd be happy with either one.
There's no wrong answer in that one.
Yep.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you end up with a fantastic car.
Yes.
But if you pick the NSX, you'll be able to jump in it and drive it anytime you want. The FD, you're probably going to have to work on it occasionally.
It's going to cost you.
So it is what it is. Up next, these are probably the least sensible match, but it had to happen.
But they but at the same time,
yeah,
I could see someone shopping for both.
They would be both they're both kind of like good over the top daily drivers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The 2019 Raptor, which I don't know if is 19 new enough that you can't get it with the V8.
I couldn't remember and I didn't look. I think the first Gen 1 was the V8 and then Gen 2 was the non V8 and then I think they're going back to the V8.
Yes, they are.
Because obviously. Let's pretend it has a V8.
Okay. And then its match, just we didn't have any specific years or anything like that. It's
I did. It's an older one in my opinion.
It's just Carrera,
Porsche Carrera,
a 911 Carrera.
Isn't that like what Michael has?
That was similar to what Michael had. Yes.
Rest in peace. A nice car. I watched him try to do an oil change, or listened about how to do an oil change on it.
Yeah.
I want nothing to do with that.
His story about buying that car.
Still one of my favorite podcasts we've ever done.
And what happened with his at the time girlfriend.
Yep.
Still one of my favorite stories.
Yep.
Fucking hilarious.
I made sure that podcast happened. I was in the East Coast calling in from a hotel.
Oh, so funny.
No, we're doing this podcast.
So funny.
It cannot wait.
So funny. So yeah.
So yeah, if you are new to the show and you haven't listened to like older episodes, go back and find the episode back when Michael Beck was still on the show. This would
actually, I don't think that he revealed to us in the show where we talked, because I wasn't there. It was just you two.
It was us two.
Where he talked about going to pick up the car. I think when he told us the story about not telling his girlfriend, that happened a few episodes later.
Oh, right.
So I don't know where that would be.
But the story of him picking this car out, flying to it, and then buying it,
and just driving it home.
It's such a good episode. I can't remember. Like it's obviously like probably in the hundreds, episode 100 something.
I don't think it's that long ago.
I do.
It might be.
It's been like 3 years since he's been on the show.
It's true. He has been gone for a long time.
Longer than we've done that. Like he's been gone.
Yeah, you and I have been doing this longer than we did it with him.
Right.
That's crazy.
So it's probably in the hundreds somewhere. So yeah,
it might be
one of the older episodes. And then if someone's really thoughtful, they'll post it on the consortium for everybody else to find.
There you go.
That being said,
I think you're picking the Raptor.
It's obviously the Raptor.
Yeah, that's
you know me, pickup guy.
That's seed 1 beating a seed 16.
I put the Carrera a little higher than a 16, but
it was a pretty obvious choice.
Yeah,
it was a pretty safe choice on if I was making a bracket for you and I was trying not to get any upsets. That's a pretty safe choice.
Yep. The money was on that one.
Yeah. Especially because you've expressed an interest in owning one of these as a
I still have a proper interest in that vehicle.
Yeah.
But it doesn't tow like the one I already have, so it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense.
And then the last one, which again, I think this is just a slam dunk walk away for you. One of your favorite cars, I think, the Silvia S15, the last of the great S chassis.
Yep.
Well, the Nissan S chassis, anyway.
The real S chassis.
Nah, I mean, that's your opinion. That's fine. Up against one of my favorite cars, the Concealer GTP, a Mosler with a turbo Dodge Omni engine in it.
This is like a 1-seat going as a 16-seat.
Yeah, this for sure.
I have almost no interest in the Consigliere.
The Consigliere could not.
I'm not the guy.
That if there were like if I wrote a list of 6 things that Robbie looks for in a car, not a single one of those boxes would get checked by that car.
I can appreciate that car.
It's a very interesting car, but man,
It's not mine.
it's aesthetically not what Robbie's looking for.
Nope.
It's painfully 80s.
Yep.
It's pretty god awful.
Yep.
It's not an engine you're probably in any way, shape, or form interested in.
Nope.
Yeah,
I'll take the SR20. Thanks.
Just don't open it, Robbie.
All right. So then now we go to.
Should we do my win bracket?
Are we doing rounds?
Oh,
or are we
yeah.
finishing?
We got it. No, you're
We gotta
right.
finish.
You're right.
We
We got to
gotta
go all
finish.
the way in.
Yep.
Okay, this is going to be interesting. We'll knock this out a little quicker though. So then,
that makes the S15. The S15 now is on a buy because it's on an uneven number.
okay. Does it even out eventually though? How's that work?
Well, eventually I have to pick one.
Right.
It'll eventually come down to 2.
Okay. All right. If you say so.
Since we didn't seed these, I'm just going to go off for the S15's by itself now.
Yeah. So now that
which
means,
will make things interesting.
so that means that the 1-to-1 R8
Yep.
was the first round, and you picked then the G8 GXP. So those have to go against each other.
Yes.
So those couldn't be more different. A stock G8 GXP, one of the most heavily modified Audis on the planet. I worded that wrong. I worded that poorly.
Well, now I'm thinking about it.
I worded that very poorly.
A dead reliable Pontiac G8 or the most work I've ever done ever.
Yeah.
Let's R8.
Okay. All right. Cool.
The R8.
I support that.
I would have a hard time saying no to a proper race car.
That's as proper
proper-
as they get.
Proper time attack race
So
car.
the next one again.
Sell me on it, Adam.
Mid-engined, rear-wheel drive, supercharged. Superchargers make great noises. Toyota reliability, Robbie.
Manual transmission?
Manual transmission is an option.
Well,
The other car does not have a manual transmission, Robbie. Flappy paddles all day.
and it's a plug-in hybrid.
It's a fucking hybrid.
So a Toyota Previa or a plug-in hybrid McLaren P1. What direction are we going, Adam?
Just scratch the Previa off and let's move on.
P1!
Yeah, P1 is going to end up P1.
All right.
And then NSX. Ooh, this is a little bit more interesting.
This is interesting.
An NSX and a Raptor. That's an interesting mixture.
An Acura NSX, even bone stock, versus the Raptor, however way I would want it.
The
don't-
NSX makes more sense for you.
I don't see a scenario where I would grab the keys to the Raptor.
Really?
If those two are sitting on a table and they're like, "Have fun this afternoon," there's no way I'm
You're
grabbing
in Baja, California.
Are there paved roads?
There are some paved mountain roads, and there is 1 million acres of open nothingness.
Huh. See, now it's
Yeah.
The scenario changes.
Yeah, see?
But it's forever. That's the thing.
Fair.
This is forever.
Forever, right? Okay, so then definitely. There's not a scenario where I'd take the Raptor. No. I think I'd take the NSX.
You're stuck with this for the rest of your life.
Yeah. I feel less upset about. Like every time I put gas in it, I'm not going to be nearly as mad.
Yeah, because you'll be putting gas in the Raptor a lot. But then again, I would drive the NSX like an asshole. So I'm going to put gas in that
it's still a Honda. Still a naturally aspirated 6-cylinder Honda with a coefficient of drag of next to nothing. So it's probably still does pretty good on gas.
Yeah, it probably does, actually.
So
I still think of that video of Senna just wheeling that one around and he's in freaking loafers.
They're driving loafers. It's fine.
God,
And then the S15 just moves on.
The S15 got to buy for whatever reason.
So then now we're down to 4.
Yep, the final 4.
So that works well. The final 4.
These match up actually really well. These match up really well.
Ooh, that's interesting.
All right, so
the R8 1-to-1 or a P1. The R8 1-to-1 will put it out a better lap time.
It'll make you earn it.
Yes, and you'll only get
both
one
physically and
you'll only get one of
yeah,
them.
physically and financially.
But you're gonna physically and financially earn the laps of the P1 too.
Fair.
But you'll get at least 2.
Probably.
So twice as much track time.
Yep.
And it's going to be slower.
Yep.
But I mean, it is.
Plus, you got to plug it in at night.
Yeah,
it's a plug-in hybrid.
I mean, yeah. That's a little tougher.
It is.
But I feel like.
And I was gonna be like, yeah, but the P1's got a lot of carbon fiber, but they both have all carbon fiber.
Yeah, but I'm not even gonna be mad if you pick the P1.
I want the P1.
Yeah.
For the rest of my life, yeah, I want the P1. Sorry.
That's fair.
I would actually, maybe if the R8 was dialed back.
If it was a track mod car instead of an unlimited class car.
Yeah, or like a GT4 car or whatever.
Yeah.
Like let's say it was the new Nissan Z GT4.
Okay.
You know, that'd be a little harder to sell.
Where you could actually put in full sessions with it and stuff like that. That would make sense.
Honestly, if the Brabham BT62 was on this list, it wouldn't even matter. I'd be like, yeah, that's the one. Let's not even do this anymore. I don't care if it's slower. That's the one. The Brabham BT62. That's the best car in the world.
All right, fair enough. And then this is a little harder, Robbie.
Harder than I thought it would be.
These are actually this is a better matchup than the FD and the NSX.
Yeah, this is like a number 3 and a number 4 seed meeting in the finals.
This is a good fight here. The NSX, the S15.
Handful of years ago, I would have gone the other way.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's when we started this podcast, I would have been like, well, this is pointless. Yeah. Let's just put the S15 in there, and then he's going to pick the P1 at the end. But, I think you're taking the NSX home.
I am taking the NSX home.
Man. Who would have thought that there'd be a Honda in the final round?
This is why they call it March Madness in October.
It's October Madness, baby.
October Madness.
That's the name of the show for sure, right?
No, I have some comments I'm pretty sure I'm going to make about you later that might make it to
okay.
Yeah.
What? He said that with a shirt of my face on it.
Oh, yeah. So the finals for me
the P1 and the NSX.
It's got to be the P1.
Yeah, it's got to be the P1.
I have to pick the plug-in hybrid, and
it's one of the best cars ever made.
It is arguably the best car ever made.
Yeah, I'm with
that.
you.
That being said, the NSX is one of the best cars ever made.
It's an interesting car, but it's not a P1.
Nope. So my keep forever car is a McLaren P1, to the surprise of not a lot of people. That would have been probably the number 1 seed. If someone had ranked these, that probably would have been the number 1 seed.
It's pretty high up. It's for sure top 3 on my list, and I have that same matchup, which is going to make my life really fucking difficult.
I'm looking forward to this. All right,
so my win bracket. I think I have a few harder choices than you.
I think you do too. I think that some of the matchups for you are really good.
Some of ours are the same choices, which is interesting.
All right, so Adam's keepers.
Yeah. So first up, I chose the Audi TT with the Butcher Babies TV.
You did.
And then
that's going up against
Andy Forrest's
Time Attack
Subaru, which he does not own anymore. The car he has now is arguably more bonkers.
That's wild.
It's a Lotus 7
Ooh.
Rep. It's not a Lotus, but it's a Caterham or whatever it is, right?
Okay.
With a V8 in it that's twin turboed and just like the most ungodly amount of aero. And it is
so fast.
So stupid. When you watch his in cars, it's like he's in fast forward. It's so dumb.
That's crazy.
So, yeah. But Andrew Forrest's Subaru, which...
Is that car even a thing anymore?
So, my understanding of it is that it was sold to some people in Germany and that I don't know that it's seen any real appreciable track time since.
That's too bad.
As is often the case with cars that are that wild that get sold to somebody else. They buy them with the intentions of doing things and then realize, holy fuck.
This costs $10,000 every time I turn the key.
Right. And like maybe I bit off more than I could chew. So that car has I think it had a 6-cylinder Subaru boxer motor in it.
Okay.
Turboed, obviously. Had a GTR transaxle.
Okay.
And then had, to make the aero work, had the front input shafts, because the GTR has a drive shaft that runs back to the transaxle, and then it must have another one that comes back up front to drive the front wheels.
Oh, yeah. I
So it must have like 2 full-length drive shafts.
I haven't been under a GTR in a while.
Right. I don't spend a lot of time.
Yeah, that's exactly how it works, Adam.
Yeah, I don't know.
Obviously.
So, but instead of having 2 full-length drive shafts, because that's not going to work well for the undercar aero, because that thing has some of the most insane tunnels underneath it you've ever seen. It has 2 drag bike spec chains.
I do remember
running
that.
from the back all the way to the front of the car.
Yikes.
It's like next between the walls of the tunnel and the outside of the car.
Jeez. I
So
remember.
the front wheels
that.
are driven by basically drag bike spec chains.
So it's a chainsaw, is what you're telling me.
So it's pretty wild.
All right. So
It's so cool.
Adam, do you want a Time Attack chainsaw,
Yeah.
or do you want the Audi TT with the Butcher Babies music video?
I'm pretty low on my list of things I need in my life is an Audi TT.
That is a smart choice financially.
Not
financially.
Not that a Time Attack, an unlimited class Time Attack Subaru is high on my list of things I need in my life, but
it's higher.
But I'd choose that for sure.
Yeah, that's fair.
So next up, Golf Mark IV R32.
Glad that wasn't on my list. Waste of time.
Well, there's a reason it wasn't on your list.
I got crushed.
It might be on your other list.
Actually, I think it is.
Or the G8 GXP. We both chose the G8 GXP in whatever scenarios these were. But I apparently chose a Golf Mark IV instead of... what did you choose? What was it?
The 2002 STI.
Oh, yeah. So they must have been hot hatches of sorts. Small all-wheel drive 4-door cars, maybe?
Yeah, because the STI.
No, because the Golf Mark IV is a 2-door.
Yeah. I think we were trying to get something similar.
I think I'd take the Golf.
Wow.
They're super cool.
I will write that down.
That
Golf.
is the
R32.
That is V6, or not really. It's a VR6.
Yeah.
So that's the motor that is kind of V-shaped but has one head, because the angle is very small, and the head gasket looks super funky.
I have seen that. That's weird.
And they sound really weird.
You don't say.
People call them Wookiees
Oh, no wonder.
because they kind of have like this weird growl to them.
Okay.
And all-wheel drive, manual. It's cool. I like it. I think I'd choose that.
Over a Pontiac.
I mean,
I really appreciate how you are playing this. I was going to name this
it's
the list that Adam disappoints his father.
a half-breed.
So we're already there.
It's fine.
Yeah, so first choice to choose against the Pontiac, done. Yep, all right. Adam disappoints his father, step 1.
Okay.
I thought I saw this coming.
Next up, I also chose the Toyota Previa in whatever situation that was.
Because of course we did.
Yeah. They're so cool.
They're good.
Certainly one of the most interesting minivans that money can buy. I mean, not that that's like...
That's not saying a whole lot,
but up against one of my favorite little cars.
yeah, this is where it gets interesting because this might not be an easy choice.
It's a pretty easy choice for me. The Chevy HHR SS. A vehicle that I adore. Every time I see one, I get giddy.
I'll just write it down already.
Yep, just write it down, Robbie.
Adam chose the HHR SS.
The longer I live, the more I fall in love with that stupid little thing.
If you're listening to my voice right now, you should go to the 1010s Consortium and show Adam all of the HHR SSs available.
No,
now.
I don't have any money.
The bank says
I
otherwise.
have no reason to own a car, Robbie.
That is the perfect daily.
I've driven
and
my
track car.
I've driven my daily twice this year, Robbie.
You could drive this to and from the track. You could take it to Topeka.
I don't know about that one.
They do it on one lap all the time.
Yeah, that's fair. Next up, what's going to be a much harder decision for me.
Yep.
Either way, I'm going to have to knock out one of my favorite cars that has ever been made. The Ferrari F40, the McLaren P1. I think, so if I'm doing this purely off emotion,
You have to.
I think I do a different answer than if, like what you prefaced earlier, you said this is my forever car.
It says it right here. Keepers forever.
So if this is a forever car, I think I have to choose the P1.
Okay.
But if I'm doing this purely on emotion and just like, what's gonna like
when you're
when
too old to drive, what car do you want sitting in your driveway?
when I walk out of my house and I walk into my garage, what car is gonna make my heart beat faster every single day? It's the F40.
So which car do you want sitting there when you're too old to drive?
The Ferrari.
Is that what we're doing here?
I think so.
Okay.
I don't like it.
Keepers forever.
I don't like it, Robbie, but I love it.
Okay.
But it hurts me. It hurts me a lot. It hurts me badly.
Suck it, P1. That's what happens when you get upset. F40.
That was like a one seed and a two seed. Someone had to go down.
Yeah, that's fair.
So next up is a very weird combination. I'm not sure how I ended up with this combination. What sort of scenario managed to get me to choose a BMW Z3 as a thing I would keep over two other cars?
I don't remember either. But we clearly set it up on purpose this way, and because what did I choose? I think it was the RX-7.
That should have gone against the Raptor.
Are you sure?
Which was, well, I assume that these are.
Oh, I'm trying to think of what
paired together the same way.
Yeah, I'm thinking of the previous.
And so, assuming these were in the same pairings, you chose a Carrera and a 2019 Raptor.
What was the other car?
I have a Raptor and a BMW Z3.
All right, so you picked a Z3 over
Somehow
a Carrera.
I mean, I think I would.
And you for sure picked it because it was a clown shoe.
If I was renting and crushing one of those, the Carrera or the Z3, I would rent the Z3 and crush the Carrera. But I don't know what the third one was that managed to make me buy that.
It should be on the first page of the Excel sheet.
There is overall choices.
Yeah,
look at this.
He did his documentation. So yeah.
Look at this guy. Okay. What?
Episode 211?
What?
Or episode 71?
It was a Porsche Carrera. It was
Yep.
211.
Yep.
A Porsche Carrera, a BMW Z3.
Yep.
Man, I must have been feeling really down about myself that day.
What car did we put back?
A 2001 Audi TT.
Yeah.
How did I? I must have been feeling real shitty about that.
You rented the TT.
I rented the TT.
Yeah.
For sure. I crushed the.
You crushed the Carrera and you kept the Z3.
Mostly to spite Michael.
That sounds right.
Probably.
Yeah.
But I can't believe I chose a Z3 over an Audi TT.
You were just trying to be on Booney's good side.
I doubt that. I very much doubt that. Anyway.
So you picked a clown shoe.
And you know what, Robbie? Against a 2019 Ford Raptor, I'm probably going to pick it again. I don't like the Raptor.
Why not?
Because it doesn't serve...
Is it because it's so freaking wide it has to have lights on it on the side?
No, that doesn't bother me.
Is it because it's so tall you need a stepladder?
No, because I bet you it's not any taller than the truck I drive for work every day.
That's probably true. Yes.
Because it's a 3/4 ton.
Yeah, that's probably the exact same height.
Dumb. But...
Look at that. The mirrors aren't as stupid as yours, though.
Where we live...
Uh-huh.
The Raptor doesn't make any sense.
It makes perfect sense.
No, it doesn't make any sense.
You could drive it on my gravel road to my house.
I can drive my Audi TT, or I can drive a BMW Z3 on the gravel road to your house.
People have done that, yes.
That wouldn't be any issue.
No, it wouldn't. Not 90% of the time, no. It
Right.
wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah. I don't hate the Raptor as much as I used to,
Okay.
but I just am not that interested in it.
So
It's just not a thing I need in my life.
So Adam picks a Z3
I think
for
that's
a second time.
It's a more interesting car.
Wow.
I think I'd have more fun with it. And I'd feel like
you probably would.
I'd feel like less of a douche.
In a Z3.
Yeah, because whenever I see a Raptor...
Is it a clown shoe? Or are you getting the non-clown shoe?
What do you think?
Okay, you're getting the clown
What a
shoe.
stupid question. It's either get a clown shoe or a convertible, Robbie. I can either get
You can put a hard top on it.
get one of the funkiest looking cars that's ever been made or a convertible. Which one do you think I'm gonna pick, Robbie?
It's fair to not have a convertible. That's fair.
A shooting brake or a convertible? Clearly, I'm gonna pick the Z3 clown shoe. I mean, it's almost offensive that you would even suggest that I would choose the convertible.
Oh, Lord.
Anyway, moving on.
Yep.
S15. I somehow ended up with an S15.
I think
as
you
well.
skipped one.
No.
Did I write these?
Oh,
out?
I did skip.
I was
one.
going to say, I thought.
My bad.
I didn't think I wrote
My
these that
bad.
far out of order.
I have the R34 and the R34 GTRs.
Yeah,
paired up
it's,
together.
It's a strange pairing for you. R34, R33. Mild differences.
This is another one that if you'd have come at me a few years ago, I would have been a very different answer.
I believe that.
But I actually really like the R33s these days
How would that be a different answer than it was 3 years ago?
because I would have picked the R34.
No, you would not have.
Oh, for sure.
No,
dude.
you've been high on the R34 forever.
No way. No, actually, probably if you would have asked me when we started the show to stack rank 32, 33, 34,
We did.
I would have put the 33 last.
Dude, we've done this show, and you put the R33 very high.
Right, but when we started,
Oh, like in 2016?
yeah, like
Okay.
when JTRs barely existed in the United States and they were only 32s,
Okay.
I would have taken a 34
we've stacked-
every
we've-
day
we've
of the
stacked
week.
ranked
We
these
did. You're
before.
right, but we did that kind of on a whim.
Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, I would take the R33.
Okay.
It's just a little bit more funky.
And everybody
It's more
and
my-
their douchey brother has an R34.
That's not true because
Or they want to have an R34.
Oh yeah, well that's fair. That's fair. But not everybody can afford one.
Almost nobody can.
Nobody can afford one. Let's be real.
Yep.
All right, then we can jump down to the S15 and the Concealer GTP.
Obviously,
Osler's crowning achievement.
Obviously, the same choice
Just
I
fucking
made,
write
but-
it down, Robbie.
S15. All right.
No, get out of here.
The GTP.
Hells yeah. Whew, this one's a little harder. Also, the one he chose for my buy is just downright rude. Because that means it makes it to at least round 2, and that's
I'll just write that one down right now. We'll get there.
we'll get there. But okay, so the last of my pairings here, the Ultima GTR,
Of course, they're spread on the opposite ends of this
one of the
pictures.
cars that I think are probably one of the coolest things that money can buy,
Yes.
or basically the only muscle car I lust after.
This is a good matchup, and I'm really proud of him for making it happen.
The Dodge Daytona,
So it's Altima GTR
the winged Mopar.
or a 69 Dodge Daytona.
I have to choose the GTR.
And this is another one where Adam disappoints his father.
I bet not. I don't think my dad's not that big.
He's
a
not
fan.
high on- he's not high on
He's
the-
not that big a fan of the winged Mopars.
But he would rather he would be okay with you picking a kit car over an old muscle car.
At least it's got a V8.
That's fair.
At least it isn't a turbocharged 4-cylinder out of a Dodge Omni.
That's fair. And your buy is in SSR.
Chevy SSR is my buy. That's just rude.
Thank you, Chris, for making that happen.
I can't even knock it out. Oh, that one looks dope.
That's what they all look like.
No, wait, dude, because that one's got rims.
That's
It's
it.
been lowered.
That has not been lowered. That's how they always sit.
No, I don't think so.
Uh-huh.
I don't hate the way that one looks. So the other thing is that one, the grill is chrome.
Yeah, this one's all red.
Yeah, they color match the whole thing.
It's not bad.
I don't hate that.
This is one of those pickups that, like...
I'm kind of mad how much I don't hate that.
This is one of those cars that, like, it could have been so good.
So when I was in high school and I worked at a dealership,
Yep.
the guy that owned that dealership actually had more than one of these because there's kind of a, I don't want to say they're like a Gen 1, Gen 2, but like the first year or whatever, I think they only made them like 2 or 3 years.
There wasn't very many of them.
But like the first year or whatever that they made it, he bought one right away. But they were only available with the, like the either the 5.3 or the 5.7
Okay.
Whatever the like more truck motor-esque thing was.
Probably the 5.3 then.
And automatics.
Oh.
And then they released one with the Corvette LS3 in it and a 6-speed behind it. You could get a 60/60 Tremec in it.
Huh.
And so then he sold his first one and bought one of those. And like that as a 6-speed, basically, Corvette engined truck, like that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of fun.
That'd be
in like a really
blast.
obnoxiously stupid way.
Yeah.
I'm a little upset by how much I don't hate the looks of that truck right now.
I'm really glad I picked that picture.
The way that you presented it to me here.
Yep.
You go to the YouTube channel and check that out, because it's not as bad as I wanted it to be, which is really obnoxious, and I fucking hate you, Robbie. All right, let's move back to the top. So that's interesting. So round 2 is going to be okay for me. I don't have to do anything I'm not going to be happy about.
Yeah, it doesn't get
hard yet.
All right, so which card are we giving the buy to?
We can't give the SSR the buy twice, can we?
I kind of want to.
I know, but that's not how it works, right?
I kind of want to.
I know, but that's not how it works.
What's your number one seed? And we'll give that the buy.
The GTR, the Ultima.
All right, we'll give the Ultimate GTR the buy. How about that? I'll be fair.
Okay.
So then the SSR and the GTR swap spots. The Ultima gets a buy.
Okay.
And the SSR goes against the GTP.
Okay.
How about that? All right.
Okay.
Back to
Andy Forrest's Time Attack, Unlimited Class, World Time Attack Subaru.
Yep.
Versus a bone stock R32.
Golf.
A Golf.
Not a GTR.
Yes. I got to take the Subaru.
Yeah, you do.
And then the F40 versus the R33 GTR. I gotta take the F40.
Yep. So, I mean, these are quick ones.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of thought here.
You would take that too, right?
The F40 over R34 or R32.
An R33.
33. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Of course I would.
Okay.
Of course.
All right. I'm glad we're on the same page. Oh, and then that one's easy too. The Z3 versus the HHRSS. Just write it down, Robbie. HHRSS. It's going to make it shockingly far into this.
No, it is.
I told you, every time I see one, I love them a little more. And then the SSR versus the GTP. Ooh, I got to take the GTP. I don't like the SSR that much.
Oh, hold on.
No,
this SSR.
No,
look at those body lines.
No, yeah,
it's got the LS3 with the 6-speed. Or do you want this?
Yeah, I do, Robbie.
This kit card.
I do.
This fiberglass.
It's carbon fiber.
Fiberglass.
It's carbon fiber.
It's fiberglass.
It's carbon fiber.
Fiberglass.
Yes, I do.
GTP by Mosler.
Not to be confused with the Grand Prix.
How the fuck do we always have odd numbers for this? This is why we don't do tournaments of 17.
Okay. So I still have an odd number?
Yeah, how's
I
that
still
work?
haven't evened out.
How does that work?
Am I ever going to even out?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And now we're down to 5.
5. And then we'll be down to 3. Won't we?
This is why we don't do tournaments of 17.
I don't know how you evened out.
I started with 14. It was an even number.
Didn't you have a bye?
No.
Oh, the second round you had a bye.
Yeah,
because you ended up with 7.
Yep. Yeah, because I moved
the
S15
3
on.
groups and then okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's how that works.
This is why they do it out of 16.
Math is hard.
Yeah. That's why tournament starts with 16. You down to 8.
Yeah. So I'm going to have to pick like a...
Or are we just going to keep your GTP as the number 1 seed, or are we going to change your seed now to the...
Well, the GTR is number 1 seed. The Ultimate GTR.
That's what I meant.
Is number 1 seed. And that's, I mean, since I crushed the P1, I almost had, or since I got rid of the P1.
Yeah, that actually was your number 1 seed. That's gone now.
Yeah.
Got upset by the F40.
Yeah. I feel like it's probably going to end up winning.
We could do it.
How do you want to do this, Robbie?
All right, I'm thinking of a number 1 through 5.
Okay. Is that you're just gonna knock out a car?
No, I'm going to give you a buy.
Okay. 3.
Your HHR SS is your buy.
Okay. But then I'm gonna end up with 3 in the final round, aren't I?
We'll figure it out.
Okay. So that means the Time Attack Subaru and the F40.
Yep.
The F40's moving on.
All right, so we got the F40.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
This is a little bit harder. The GTP and the GTR. How many GT options can I have here?
Many.
I think I have to pick the GTR, though, still.
The Optima.
The Ultima.
Ultima. I keep saying Optima.
Not the Ultimate. The Ultima.
Ultima GTR. All right, so your final 3.
They don't even make this. Now it's the Ultima Evo.
Yep, that's right. Still similar look. So
Yeah, it's
nearly
just kind of a
identical.
refined and upgraded thing.
Still a good-looking car.
Jabay hates them, so he put them. If somebody were to bring one of those to Grid Life, it's automatically in Super Unlimited, which is
Why? What's wrong with it?
I don't fucking know.
What's his problem, man?
I think because basically it's a tube frame car
Yeah, it
with
is.
a body put on top of it.
That's exactly what it is.
So that's kind of where he. So like if you bring like an SLC, a super light car,
Yeah.
or like what is
Radical.
Factory 5 makes the GTM. Is that what they call theirs?
I can't remember.
Whatever their crazy one is, or a Ultima GTR, they just you're in Super Unlimited, even if it has a license plate.
No, that's fine. I think that's the right choice. It's a tube chassis car with a fiberglass body or carbon fiber body.
Yeah, it's basically a V8 Radical with a roof.
That's exactly what
That's
it
a
is.
little bit bigger than a Radical.
It's a track monster.
Dope though.
Okay. So Adam,
Yeah.
your top 3.
How are we gonna do this, Robbie?
You have an F40, an HHR, and a GTR
Don't leave off the most important part, though.
SS.
It's an HHR SS, Robbie.
SS.
You gotta. If you just say, "Oh, it's an HHR," like, yeah, that sounds lame.
Okay.
At least it's turboed.
Let's can we rock paper scissors for one?
I mean, realistically, if you presented those 3 cars to me and you told me I had to get rid of one, as much as I love it, I gotta let the HHR SS go.
All right. Well, let's just do that. We'll get rid of the HHR SS because obviously.
Right, and so then we're just gonna. That means I have.
You have a tough finisher.
I don't.
The F40 or the Ultima GTR.
All right, so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to use the same line of thought that nixed the P1.
Forever. Keep her forever.
What car, when I look at it, when I'm 90 years old and it's in my garage and I barely can walk and I certainly can't drive, what car is going to make me happier that I owned it all these years? The one car that, like, my boyhood dream, the Ultima GTR.
Really?
I think so.
Ultima GTR over the F40.
Yes. So,
Adam's Keeper Forever is a kit car.
in America, yes, it is. That's true. You're not wrong. In America, it is a kit car. You can buy them built in England,
Yes.
the motherland. You can't buy them as a built car here. You have to buy them as kit cars.
That's annoying.
Put it together.
But there are ways to license plate it and do things in this country. You'll be fine.
Well, so before I even really knew what Top Gear was, Ultima tried to get this car on Top Gear, and for whatever political BS reasoning behind it, Top Gear wouldn't allow them to bring it to their test track and compete in it. And so because that track is just a track, and they just rent the place for the filming.
Yep.
There are days where it can be rented for other uses, and I think like McLaren used it as a test track for a while and some stuff like that. And Ultima said, "All right, fine. If you guys won't let us do this, we'll bring the car there. We'll rent the track, and we'll play by your rules on our own turf." And they apparently their factory is on the opposite end of England.
Okay.
And so they got in their car and they drove it to the Top Gear test track. And they laid down a time that still to this day would have been like top 3 or something dumb. And then they drove it back home again. And
that is the type of spite that I aspire to.
Yeah. So that was a 720 horsepower supercharged Chevy V8 of some kind. I don't know what specifically. But that's what it was, which at the time was a lot of power, but by the end of Top Gear as we knew it, it was not really a staggeringly huge amount. And it did shockingly well against cars that should have fared better. It was on a street legal tire, which at that time was not much to write home about, as compared to modern day street legal tires.
Yeah, a modern day 200 treadwear would have been leaps and bounds better, whatever they were on.
Right. And like still back then, it put down incredible 0 to 60 times. Their video included that sort of stuff in it too. And
right.
It was a thing that I lusted after before I even like really understood track times and going fast in ways other than just like straight lines.
Yeah, like the proper race car stuff.
Right. And so still to this day, it kind of holds that like special boyhood place in my heart.
I get it.
So that's why I got to choose it.
Okay.
The F40 came along later in my life.
See, when you said F40, I was like, or when you were talking about like childhood dreams, I was like, no, he's going to pick the F40.
No, because that came later in my life.
Okay.
The car that was on my wall was a Countach.
I had a Diablo.
Yeah.
And then for whatever reason, my brother had a yellow F50 model.
Okay.
And I always thought that was like the coolest looking car.
One of my parents' friends bought me a framed Countach picture.
Yep.
And that went up on my wall.
It's that black one that...
No, it was white.
White. Miami Vice
in
style.
the fall with leaves falling down behind it. Like that's what it was. So, yeah.
All right.
Should we do... This is going to be great. I'm super excited about this.
Yep. So before we jump into that, remind everybody real quick, head over to mypetrobox.com. Use the code TTP15. That's 15% off your first box or everything that's currently available in the store. So if you want to have cool shirts like this sweatshirt that I am wearing, that I used to cover up this other cool shirt that I'm sure I could get multiples made through.
No. That's a one-off, Robbie. That's the only one that exists.
But if you want to have awesome car culture stuff delivered to your house as like a gift to yourself once a month, you got to sign up for this box. You get car care products, you get t-shirts, you get tools, you get, usually there's stickers, but it's always something you didn't think you probably wouldn't buy for yourself, but you're always glad that you have it. So like some of the best screwdrivers I've ever gotten that I use all the time, that's the first one I grab when I go to the toolbox for when I need a screwdriver. It's the ones that I got from Petrobox. There's some tool holders that I got. Like the one that just came last month is a magnetic tool holder. I'm like, well, that's super convenient for when I'm working, and I keep, I have like a pile of sockets, and they just keep rolling away. That's not a problem anymore with my magnetic tool or my socket holder that I just got. Otherwise, the car care products, so like waxes and like quick detailers and like wheel cleaning, stuff like that. All this stuff, like I just have like a shelf of just anything that I could possibly need. It's already there.
I have a bunch of that stuff, too.
Yep. So, mypetrobox.com. Use the code TTP15. They also have, like, dog collars and leashes and stuff that are automotive-themed. So, if you want to pimp up your dogs. And then, also the cheapest place you can get mechanics gloves, which I do need to remind myself to buy them because I just put a hole in my last set.
Oh, no.
Yep. So, mechanics gloves on the bottom. Grease Monkey gloves. They are $15 a piece right now. 15% off if you use our code. That is mypetrobox.com. Hit the shop button. Oh, yeah.
This is going to be fun, Robbie.
I'm already excited.
Are you?
Yeah. I'm excited about this all day. All right. It's my turn, so I get the pictures for me. Crushing. So so these are the worst of the worst. These are the cars we chose to crush on previous episodes, which means that now we are choosing the worst car, the car that we hate more.
Is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if we were choosing the car we still liked more.
No. It has to be
this is the thing we dislike
best
most.
of the best forever.
Worst of the worst.
Worst of the worst. I don't ever want to see it ever.
Oh, that changes a lot of things for me.
Yeah. No, this is the other end of the spectrum. The car that you hate the least
Honestly, I'm less excited about that.
stays behind.
I'm less excited about
No, we're not picking our favorites of the
I
worst.
wanted you to have to choose between two terrible things, which one you'd rather have. But this is which one.
It's up to you. I mean, do we want to switch it the opposite?
No,
Do you want to
I'm
keep
good.
the worst of the
Well, I suppose either way is the same answer. Or it's the opposite.
It's the opposite.
Answer.
So
It's
it's
the
like,
opposite answer.
So you pick your. See, I think it's kind of a boring way to do it though, because then I know what car I'm going to pick. I'm like, oh yeah,
Okay, that's fine. No, let's do what thing you hate most.
I hate the most.
Yeah.
Crushing.
That's an interesting twist on this.
Okay.
Which thing do
I
you-
think that's what his intent
What
was.
is worse? What is worse?
Yes.
An Audi TT or Journey? Is basically what this boils down to. So your first matchup, just straight up, Audi TT. So we can just assume Mark 1 because that's what all I really cared about.
Yep. Yeah.
Or a S15 Celia Spec R with Journey on repeat.
So obviously the worst car
She's
for
just
me.
a small town girl.
Ugh. Do they even have any other songs?
Yeah, I got a whole greatest hits album on my phone if you'd like to listen to it.
Oh God, no! I went to bars in college.
I love Journey.
I don't need
I don't
to.
know why everyone hates him so much.
Because you don't go to bars and have to listen to it every fucking weekend.
I mean, it's not wrong. You're totally right about that.
Yeah.
But I'd still not hate it.
Every time that song comes on, I think about being in Mickey's in Ames. It's just like PTSD. Like I don't want to hear the
Woo
song
Girls?
anymore.
Woo Girls?
No, I'm fine with Woo Girls. They can stay.
Well, but that's what
it's a Woo
they
Girls
bring
song.
out the Woo Girls.
I understand.
Journey does.
Yup. That song is about me.
I'm just a small town girl.
Bitch, they wrote it like 20 years before you were born.
At least.
Oh my God. All right, so what car would I rather crush? An Audi
what car
TT
do you hate more?
or the S15 Silvia
what thing do you hate
playing
most?
Journey?
What do you hate most? Audi TTs or Journey?
The Audi TT.
I'm okay with that. Journey. We'll listen to Journey on my way home.
Okay. I don't have to.
Up next, 2019 Chevy Trail Boss. So that's kind of like
So I crushed the Trail Boss?
that was Chevy's answer to the Raptor, which was not
so we
not
had-
enough. We probably did like a Dodge Rebel.
It was a Rebel, a Raptor, and a
the
Trail Boss. And I
which is
picked the
not-
Raptor.
The Trail Boss is not on the.
It's not no, it's not the same.
It's a trim
That's
package.
why we crushed it.
Yeah, that's fair. Or, God, Robbie, why do you hate good things that are good? Like the Chevy HHR.
Just because I crushed the HHR and you put it in your final 3 as best cars ever.
I love the HHR SS. Okay, what do you want from me? At least I'm consistent-ish. That's
All
not
right, so
even true.
if I had to choose between crushing a 19 Chevy Trail Boss or a HHR
What thing would
SS,
bring you more pleasure? To watch being crushed, Robbie?
the HHR SS. I would
If I wasn't,
I would sit there pushing the button
if
the
I
whole
wasn't there
time.
and I never found out,
That'd be worse. I
then what would you choose?
would still crush the HHR SS.
Okay, well, then okay.
I
Because, like, if I'm there, obviously you're going to crush the HHR. Like, if I'm standing there next to you,
I
like, no, don't do it, Robbie. Like, obviously you're going to do that.
I don't have any strong feelings about the Trail Boss. I bet it's a fine truck. It's a year newer than the truck I have. It's going to be basically the same truck.
Yeah.
It's a nice truck.
Yeah.
I have no reason to crush it. I have all the reasons to crush the HHR.
None of them good.
I didn't say there were good reasons. I just
that's
said there are
fair.
reasons.
That's fair. This is an interesting matchup.
This is a weird matchup.
It's a weird matchup.
Yeah.
And I think I know which one you would choose not to crush.
Yeah, obviously.
So, Golf Mark IV R32. A car that was on my keep list.
Your keep list, my crush list.
Yeah, made it to round 2 even.
Yep.
Over the car that you chose in the similar matchup. Versus a strange choice, BMW's M1. The
M1.
closest thing to a supercar that BMW ever made in the 70s.
Yeah, I'm obviously not crushing the BMW.
No,
Then
even I would have a hard time making that decision.
yeah. No, I chose what car did I choose the F40 over that?
I don't have any
I
idea.
can't remember what what we
Let me look.
because we crushed the M1, but it was because we had the choice of the M1, the F40. Is that where that came from?
I'm looking for it, Robbie. I don't see it on here though.
It's on there. I saw it earlier today. So I'm obviously crushing the Golf because why would I crush an M1 when these are the options?
Right. Yeah, I get that. Okay, so it was a Countach,
Yep.
an M1,
Yep.
and the F40.
Yeah. So of those three options, I
That's
chose
definitely the worst of those three options.
Yes. But at the same time, it's probably not. I bet it drives so much better than the Countach.
Yeah, but the Countach is way cooler.
I understand.
That's what you chose then, Robbie.
I still probably
At
would choose
episode
it.
211, that is what you chose.
I'm sticking with it.
You can't take it back.
All right, so obviously the Golf is getting crushed because
That's fair. Up next, the Black Mamba Evo, which
this.
I don't think that's the right one. That's fine.
Oh well, it's got to be similar to this one.
Yeah, it's a full-fledged time attack Evo. Pretty wild little car from Europe somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know the details. I can't remember.
Yeah, the car hasn't really been competing a whole lot lately, so I don't really remember a whole lot about it either.
Okay,
this has been a while ago. Or this was definitely a Michael contribution.
Yep,
a 2009 E63 AMG, one of his favorite cars. Rear-wheel drive, big V8, lots of burnouts, 4 doors,
luxury car,
big luxury 4-door sedan.
So obviously I'm crushing the E63 AMG.
Okay,
'Cause I'm not crushing the Evo. Are you kidding?
You're not crushing a race car over a luxury sedan.
Yeah, the luxury car is going down.
Yeah, that's fair. So, up next, this one will be fun. I know which one.
Do you?
That was pretty. Yeah.
Do you?
A Countach.
Okay. Or
one of the cars you dislike the most. A 1998 Mark IV Supra.
I don't dislike that the most.
But you're meh about them.
I'm jaded because I used to think so highly of them, and then ever since everyone's like, the Supra, it's the greatest car ever.
It's got a 2JZ.
Yeah, and that just kind of
yeah.
So people ruined that car for me. Not the car itself didn't necessarily ruin it for me.
That's fair.
But if those two cars are sitting in front of me, I'm crushing the Supra.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Countach, you safe.
They're so cool.
It's
They're so painfully 80s. I love it so much.
Watching them drive that car in the F40 on the Grand Tour and just you can't back up with it. It's just you can't just drive.
They are bad cars. But
then the wheel sizes are so weird.
To me, that's supercars shouldn't be as good as everyday cars as the modern crop is.
No, they shouldn't.
That's more supercar to me than a P1 is. Because a P1 you could totally live with day to day.
Yes.
Other than the fact that it's probably too low.
Jeremy Boyson has proven you can drive an SVJ.
Yeah. He drives. No, that's an Aventador.
Aventador.
He has an Aventador SVJ now. He got rid of his
Huracan
Performante.
Yeah.
And bought an SVJ.
Yeah. And he drives it every day.
All the time.
Yeah. Actually, I don't think he's driving right now because he can't get tires for it. But that's,
some real first world problems.
Yeah, supercar problems.
I mean, I wouldn't be able to get tires for my Countach either.
That's because they're 365 15s or whatever. It's the weirdest size in the world.
Pirelli makes them once every couple of years or whatever. So good. I love it so much. Two of Robbie's least favorite looking vehicles.
These are facts.
The Fiat
One of the ugliest cars ever made.
The Fiat Multipla does not have a rear sliding door.
Nope.
Fun trivia. Former guest of the show. Oh my God, it's Kevin Lawrence.
Yep.
Loves those. Wants to import one when they're legal.
Does not.
They're 25 years
old.
Does
not surprise me that that's something he would do.
Front wheel drive.
Love that guy.
Just an obnoxiously slow thing. I think you can get it with tiny little diesel engines because that's what they do in Europe.
Yeah.
Or another vehicle you really despise the looks of. The Porsche Panamera.
There it is. I actually tried to pick a picture of the best looking one I could find.
So the newer generation of Panamera is way better looking. Even I liked the first gen. The second gen's way better.
Oh yeah, leaps and bounds.
Much better.
And that's what this is.
Yeah, and the one you picked here is the newer of the versions.
Even if it was the older version, though, I mean, it's a Fiat multiple. Man. It's like the ugliest car ever made.
I think it might legit be the ugliest thing ever made.
There might be riots in the street if there's like a Panamera sitting there, and I'm like, crush the Panamera.
I'll take the Multipla, please.
I will pick the Panamera to move on.
Wait, no, wouldn't you pick the...
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Sorry.
The Multipla.
The Fiat gets crushed. The Panamera stays.
Yeah. Okay. I'm okay with that. That's an early contender for worst car on this list.
Yeah, that's probably a number one seed.
Yeah, for sure. And then this one, I don't know how we ended up here.
Nope. I don't know how I crushed these ever, but whatever.
S13.
Yep.
Which the S13 hatch is my car.
Yes.
Of the Nissan S chassis, it's the one I'd choose.
It's better than I like the S13 hatch a lot.
The hatch is better than the coupe.
I've said it multiple times on the show that Matt Hines built an S13 shell for a drift car, and then I almost bought from him. I regret it, but I don't regret it at the same time.
Yeah, that's fair.
But it's still one of the best looking S13s I've ever seen. And I don't know what happened to that car.
Yeah.
But that anytime I see an S13 and it doesn't look like that car, I'm like, man, I wish it looked like that car. That was the one, man. Against
a car that continues to come back to us, the S15 spec car.
I am crushing the S13.
That's the worst of the two?
That's the worst of the two.
That would be hard for me. I think I'd let the S13 carry on.
For the sake of the conversation, we're assuming they're equally modded in this.
Let's just say factory.
Totally bone stock.
Yeah.
That's easier for me then. The CS15.
Yeah.
That's getting saved.
Yeah. All right. So then that gives you now we're on to round 2.
Yep.
So that means the Audi TT. Ooh, that's an interesting lineup. The Audi TT.
I got to buy. Who's getting the buy?
Oh, the S13 because he's on the bottom.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
That's how we did the last one. So
that's how I did mine.
Fair.
Yeah, yours will probably get more complicated because you have 17 again.
Okay, so Audi TT, HHRSS. That's an interesting lineup for you. Which one do you dislike more?
The HHRSS.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Really?
If someone's like, here's the keys to an Audi TT, here's the keys to an HHRSS, you can just throw the HHRs in the trash. I'm never going to pick them up. I will pick up the keys to the TT.
I'm going to be honest with you. You'll be more disappointed in the driving dynamics of the Audi than you will be in the driving dynamics of the HHR. I promise you.
Wrong.
I promise you the HHR is a better handling, better driving car than the Audi TT is. The Audi TT.
You used to wax lyrical about taking the Audi TT on curvy back roads.
I know, but that was because I didn't know how much of an understeering piece of shit car those are to handling wise. They're garbage.
I don't need the rollover rate that comes with an HHR.
It's just a Cobalt.
HHRSS is getting crushed.
It's just a Cobalt, Robbie.
One step closer, HHR.
So then we have the Golf R32 again. Oh, yeah, this is a good one. Or the E63 AMG.
The Golf is getting crushed.
Just because it's a Volkswagen?
Because I again, if those two cars were sitting in front of me and they're like, drive one, crush one, I'm driving the Mercedes and I'm crushing the Golf.
You want a fun fact?
Yep.
Audi TT, Mark IV, Golf, same thing. Same cars.
Yeah, but I'd rather have the AMG.
I'm just saying. They're the same thing.
You got to remember, this is a list of garbage.
You let the Audi survive over the HHRSS.
I did.
It's arguably a worse car.
They're
but then you're like, you know what? Fuck that Golf, though. It's the same thing as that Audi, but fuck it.
Exactly. These are all the worst, Adam. These all are. All right, this is a great one. So, the Mark IV Supra or the Fiat Multipla? I'm obviously crushing the Fiat. That's ridiculous.
There's no redeeming qualities. Like none.
It's so bad. Like, but it's like it's clearly been. It looks like something that's been hit in the head, and you're like, "Oh, new poor thing."
It looks like two different people. Like, you design the upper half of this car, I'll design the lower half of this car. Whatever we get is what we get. And they gave each other no parameters to meet each other. They just combined them.
It makes no sense. Because even the hood doesn't look like it even opens. It looks like it's going to hit the headlight.
It would have been better if they would have just sloped the hood to meet the cowl.
It makes no sense.
Which that wouldn't have been good either, but it would have been better.
No, this just looks, it looks totally off. Like it doesn't match at all.
It's so bad. I don't understand.
All right, my finalists are HHRSS versus the Golf, the Fiat Multipla versus the S13.
All right, so the HHR and the Fiat Multipla move on, right?
Yeah, so it's Fiat versus HHRSS, and the Fiat Multipla is the one I crushed.
Yeah! The HHR survived a round. I'm happy. So the HHR made it into the finals for both of us at some point in time.
Yeah, basically.
Granted, one of them was worst car and one of them was best car, but hey, that's what makes us us.
Yep. This would be a terrible show if we had the same lists.
Yeah, that's true. This would have been a real quick show. All right, mine is interesting as well. Some of mine repeats similar to yours. Yeah. But yeah, there's a few interesting ones in here. So again, I have 17, so we'll have to figure that out. This is what happens when you overachieve, Robbie.
I know.
This is your own fault.
I brought all these to the table.
Yeah. Should we you want to know what's most interesting about this list as I scan it quickly?
Yeah.
There is not a Fiat Multipla on here.
I know, you didn't crush it.
Which means I chose something else. And I chose to at least rent the Fiat. I chose to rent it because it wasn't on my win either.
Yep.
I chose to not destroy. Which means, I can't believe I crushed that over a Multipla. Because now I think they're rad. I would totally own one of these. We'll get there.
Yep.
I don't want to talk about it yet. Okay. First up, Porsche Carrera 911.
Yep.
Which is what I chose over the BMW Z3 and the Audi TT somehow.
There it is.
So, and then the S15 Silvia Spec R with Journey as well. I chose to get rid of that, which just surprises me. That's very strange to me because I like Journey way more than I like Imagine Dragons.
Yeah. And
I must have based that on the car.
On the R34.
I must have based that purely on the car, which is weird. Because if you asked me today, I would have killed Imagine Dragons and kept Journey.
Yeah, without question. But I think that you wanted the GTR more than you wanted the Silvia. And I think it's because I like Silvia, so this is actually to spite me.
It probably was. That's probably true. But today, I would choose Journey over the Carrera. So the Carrera is the loser and moves on.
All right, Carrera gets crushed.
It's a little confusing.
It's the worst
loser, so it moves on.
Yes.
2019 Dodge Rebel. I chose the Rebel of the Raptor. I chose the Rebel to crush over the Raptor and the Trail Boss.
Yep, you must have rented the Raptor.
No, I kept the Raptor because it was on my list too.
That's right. And you rented the Trail
I
Boss.
must have rented the Trail Boss. That's interesting.
And you said that the Dodge had no redeeming qualities.
That's probably true.
That is not on brand because the Dodge boys have.
Yeah, but I don't like Dodge trucks.
That's fair.
I'm a GM truck guy through and through, which is why I'm surprised I chose the Raptor over the Trail Boss.
I think it's just because it's a boring Trail Boss.
Yeah, it's an appearance package, not a performance package like the Raptor is.
Right.
So I suppose that does make sense. Up against, interesting, the Caliber SRT4.
All right.
Which today I probably wouldn't have chose to destroy. I gotta look now. What was that against? The Caliber SRT4, and that would have been against the Chevy HHRSS, which obviously
Yeah, you kept.
Yeah, and then I chose a PT Cruiser GT5 Speed to rent. A PT GT over a Caliber SRT4. That's interesting.
Somewhere Scott Robinson's really happy about that.
That's interesting that I chose a PT GT over a SRT4.
I didn't crush the PT.
No, you crushed the HHRSS.
I did that to spite you.
Yeah, you totally did that to spite me.
Because in the real world, I would probably crush the PT Cruiser.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I mean, spiting you is.
But that means you rented the PT GT because the Caliber was on your.
Yeah, I didn't want to keep.
Yeah, that's fair. You totally made the wrong choice.
Yeah, but I did it to spite you.
I know, but like you made a poor decision there.
Sometimes spite is the best decision.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, so Dodge Rebel, I think I would much prefer an SRT4 Caliber. So I guess
you're crushing the Rebel.
The Rebel is the loser and therefore carries on. And then another one where I chose to crush the car you chose to marry.
Yep.
The 2002 STI versus the BMW M1. I gotta get rid of the 2002 STI. The M1's way better.
Yeah, it's not a question.
Objectively.
So that's the problem when you have when you're comparing supercars, but then you put them compared to the rest of these pieces of shit.
Honestly, that Subaru is probably faster stock for stock.
Maybe.
Because that's a 70s car versus a much more modern car that probably weighs similar, probably makes more power and is all-wheel drive and probably like a better handling car.
Yeah.
But that doesn't matter.
No, the M1 stays.
And then I also ended up with the Black Mamba versus the E63 AMG. And I also am going to keep the Black Mamba Evo.
So we're crushing the AMG.
So we're getting rid of the AMG GT or the E63 AMG. This is interesting. The Ferrari LaFerrari. Wait, how did you end up?
I must have rented the Ferrari.
Okay. The Ferrari LaFerrari versus the 1998 Mark IV Supra. I think the Supra is gonna go.
Yeah, Supra gets crushed.
Yeah.
Not a lot of upsets on this one yet.
I never really liked the Ferrari LaFerrari. The Ferrari.
Yeah, but if you have a choice between driving,
but between that and the Supra, that's a pretty obvious answer.
I would say so. Yeah.
Yeah. Then this one's gonna be interesting. And I'm going to have to upset some Mustang fans.
This is where it gets controversial.
This is where it gets controversial. And I'm really upset that however many year ago me crushed this. The Dustbuster silhouettes. The minivans.
Yeah, the Pontiac Transports.
Pontiac Transport. The Oldsmobile silhouette.
Yep.
They looked like a Dustbuster. They're kind of god-awful and I love them.
We had a silhouette.
Did you?
Oh, yeah.
Rad.
It's the first car I ever did a burnout in.
Nice. Was it on purpose?
Yeah, it was the first day I got my permit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got in trouble.
Weird.
Worth it.
Weird. Is that what you drove home from the courthouse in?
Yep.
We had very different driving experiences our first time. I drove home in I don't remember what year specifically, but it would have been a second-gen Firebird with a 455 and a 4-speed in it.
Yeah, we didn't have any of that stuff. I had a Toyota RAV4 and a Silhouette.
We had very different driving experiences
at
a younger age.
Did not have a car family.
Yeah. That goes up against the Fox Body Mustang, which I'm kind of surprised you didn't crush at some point, and I chose to.
That is strange.
Yeah. But I'm really upset that I chose to destroy the Dustbuster. Because they're so cool in their terribleness, Robbie.
I understand. It's so practical.
So Fox Body is moving on.
Yeah, so the Fox Body gets crushed.
Yeah.
It's worse than a minivan, Adam said. Adam said that he would rather drive a Pontiac Transport than a Fox Body in any condition.
It's on brand.
Yep.
I made my dad happy. I chose a Pontiac over a Ford.
There you go.
It's probably the worst Pontiac they ever made.
Arguably.
Yeah. So then I ended up with a similar one to you here. The S14 versus the S15. I got to choose the S15.
Are you doing the Zenki or the Kooky?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
The S14 is my least.
Can you tell me the difference between a Zenki and a Kooky?
Slightest clue what you're talking about, Robbie.
You really don't know?
No.
All right. Well, in the S14, 240SXs and Silvias.
Yeah.
In the 95, 96s.
Okay.
They are the Zenkis.
Okay.
And they have the rounder edged headlights.
Okay.
I can't remember what they call it. But these were the 97 and 98. Yes. The newer ones were called the Kookies, and they had the angry eyes, and they had the more square headlights.
Stupid name.
Hey, I didn't pick it.
I'm sure it means something in Japanese.
I bet it does.
I don't know. But either way, the S14 is my least favorite of the S chassis, the Nissan S chassis.
You just say that because I had one to spite me.
No way, dude. The S13 hatch is my Nissan S chassis of choice.
Yep.
And then the S15.
When that's your top choice, then yeah, the S14 defaults into your last place.
Right, because the S15 is the S15.
Yeah, it's a great car.
Yeah. So, sorry. So in this case, I'm letting the S15 go and letting the S14 go.
Yeah,
Keeping
the S15 is crushed.
The S14 is crushed.
Okay.
The S14 is crushed.
All right, the S14 moves on.
Yes.
Because it is worse.
Because the 15 is better, in my mind.
Thank you.
And then, this was clearly a Michael submission as well. The Consigliere GTP, but they made it later in its run time. And this is a little bit different than I think in visual as well.
Yep.
But it came with an LT1 in it.
Yeah.
Because of course it did. Because at some point there had to have been a cross between Turbo Dodges and LT1s.
Yeah,
and of course Mosler was the one to do it.
Sounds about right.
So that going against a 69 Boss 302.
What are we crushing?
Am I going to make Mustang guys mad twice in one day?
On brand.
That's fair.
What generation is that?
In my mind or in the real world?
Give me an answer.
In my mind, that's a second generation Mustang. But in the real world, that's a first gen Mustang.
What?
Yes. That's a Gen 1.
No, it's not.
That is the same generation as the 64 Mustang.
I forgot about that.
I forgot about that. Because the Mustang 2 is the second generation of Mustang. So a 64 Mustang and a 69 or 70 Fastback.
Yep.
Same car.
That's the dumbest thing.
According to Ford.
So are we crushing it or not?
Yeah, I'm getting rid of that.
All right, so the Boss 302.
The Consigliere, despite the fact that it's made worse by putting a V8 in it, is still better than a Mustang.
And then your buy is a 2005 Ford Thunderbird.
That's rude as well.
All right.
So are we going to do the same thing we did? How are we going to do this?
All right, so
So we're
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
again.
9.
It's odd.
So how do you want to do it?
How
we could go wild. We could do 3 sets of 3, but then you still end up with 3. We could do 2. We could do. I don't like that either. Just pick a buy. Let's do. Since you have 2 Mustangs, one of them has to move on.
Okay.
So the Fox Body Mustang moves on by default.
I'm good with that.
We'll pair up the rest.
Okay. So then that means that I'm pairing the Carrera and the Rebel.
Yep.
Oh, God. These are 2 cars I really don't care in any way, shape, or form about.
Carrera, Rebel.
If I was driving down the road, my eye would wander towards the 911 before it's going to wander towards a Rebel. So I'm going to say the Rebel's the worst of those 2.
The Rebel's getting crushed.
Yes.
Adam is crushing the new truck.
Yes. And then 2002 STI versus 2009 E63 AMG. I think I'm keeping the E63 in this situation as well. So then we're crushing the 2002 STI.
Okay.
Okay, and then
That puts the Supra.
The Supra against
the S14.
The S14. Ooh. I think I'm crushing the Supra.
Really?
Yeah. Because what I would want to do with a car, I can more easily do with an S chassis than I can with a Supra. They work better.
That's fair.
Supras are decent cars, but they're not like it takes a lot of work to make them turn well.
And yeah, there's a reason there's not a lot of track Supras.
Right. I would take the S chassis.
Okay. Supra's getting crushed.
Yeah.
Fox body got crushed.
Trying to be practical about this.
Okay.
And then last and least, that would be the Boss 302.
Yep.
And the 2005 Ford Thunderbird. Is the Thunderbird my Fiat Multipla, Robbie? I think it might be.
Might have to be.
I think it might be.
The Thunderbird is worse than the Boss 302?
Yes.
Yeah, I would hope so.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is like the worst one. It's so bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm giving that one a third round buy.
Okay.
Or a fourth round buy.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Thunderbird.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
We'll move that one
that
on.
means
You have a Rebel versus an STI,
Ooh,
and then a Supra versus a Fox body.
I think the Rebel's moving on again.
So you were keeping the STI, killing the
STI,
Rebel.
I'm killing the Rebel. And then the Supra and the Fox body. I think I'd rather have the Fox body. So we're crushing the Supra.
You're crushing a Supra.
I think so.
A Mark IV Supra over a Fox body. So Adam has chosen to kill a Mark IV Mark.
I'm gonna pull the
IV.
engine out of the Supra and put it in the Fox body. But yeah, that's where I'm at in my life.
Okay. So now we got a three-way finish. Rebel, Supra, Thunderbird.
Okay, so of those, I'm going to pick one to save, and then the other two go on to the final round. That makes sense?
That works.
Supra gets saved.
All right, so your final.
So the final round is the Rebel and
the Thunderbird.
The Thunderbird. And finally, the Dodge gets some respect. Some hard-fought respect. Because I'm crushing the Thunderbird, Robbie. It's certainly the worst car on my list.
By far.
All right, so then I have to ask you, because the other one we can't really come to an agreement on, but we can on this. Which one's worse, the Fiat Multipla or the 2005 Ford Thunderbird?
Oh, man. I feel like the Thunderbird, like if I had to drive one, let's just say this is your car for the next year and a half.
Okay.
The Thunderbird is going to give me less problems and less bad looks than the Fiat.
So how about this? Let's preface it this way.
Yeah, let's.
I agree with you on that. I think if that's the way we're defining this, then unfortunately I think I have to choose the Thunderbird as well.
Yes.
But if you're driving down the road and you see both of those, which one disgusts you more? Which one makes you saw them?
See,
one of them you saw on Tuesday, the other one you saw on Wednesday. Which one was in your head longer and made you more upset?
The problem is I've never seen a Fiat Multipla.
Yes,
and because it's so weird.
Yes,
it wouldn't disgust me as much as the Thunderbird
because I think
because I don't see it
in some strange way. It would make me happy.
Yes,
because it's so stupid.
It's so bad.
I would giggle at it. I would be like, "That's a Fiat Multipla."
Yes, that's the problem. You see the Thunderbirds,
but if there
all
were
the time.
But if we lived in Europe, there'd be 15 Multiplas a day.
Yep.
And so that is a very different situation. You're right. But so I think that when you said I have to live with this one for a year and a half, like this is my car now. That's a more accurate or a better scenario
Yeah.
for us.
Plus, you could put the convertible down, let your hair go in the wind. Because I think they're all convertibles, aren't they?
Yeah.
Hardtop convertibles.
Yeah. As much as
they're exclusively driven by retired old women.
Yes.
And whoever loses this competition we're in. But think of how practical the Fiat would be.
I want to choose the Fiat, Robbie.
Because the Fiat is similar to like a Scion XB in like the things
size
you could put things
practicality.
in. Yeah. Like you're going to get in that Fiat and go, God damn it, this is practical.
If you got the hot one, like the fast one, air quotes, it might be just fast enough to be able to be ran in Sunday Cup.
Then I am in.
Which is funny because usually you're struggling to get it slow enough.
Yep.
In this situation, because I think the other one's a diesel, and they make a bunch of tiny little motors. I think if you got the hot one, you might be able to race it in Sunday Cup. Whereas the Thunderbird, you're just
you're just stuck with the stupid Thunderbird.
I think I would choose the Fiat because I think that it would.
It's so unique here.
Yeah. But it is a Fiat, and it is going to break down on me. It's going to leave me stranded.
Worse than the Mini did.
And then it's going to be broken for weeks because the parts don't exist in America.
Yep.
So that sucks, too.
Yeah, because the Thunderbird you can get shit for.
Yeah, it's just like a basic, Taurus six-cylinder.
Yeah, there's nothing special about it.
No.
And it's going to run just like the Focus.
Yeah.
Like, disgusting. How good it's going to treat you.
Rob, that's a hard one. Which one's worse?
They're both terrible in opposite ways.
Which one's objectively worse, though? All I have to live with this aside, or interestingness aside, which one is objectively worse?
The Fiat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so, too.
The only reason it's not worse would be you could argue the quirkiness and that it's so
and
bad.
Practicality.
Yeah. It's so ugly that you're like, yeah, I got a Fiat Multipla. Can you fucking believe it?
Because the Thunderbird is very similar to the problem that we had with the Solstice when my mom had one when I was in high school, and that it was so unpractical you couldn't do anything with it.
Yeah.
Like, my mom couldn't drive it to work and then swing by the grocery store on her way home because...
Unless you're picking up 1 gallon of milk, that's it.
Yeah. Whatever you could fit in the passenger seat was all you could take with you.
Yep.
Because there was no trunk.
Yeah, that's not good.
So, it's a hard question. Thankfully, it's a question we'll never have to answer.
I hope not.
Never, ever, ever will I be in a situation where I have to decide Fiat Multipla or Ford Thunderbird.
My dream is to have enough money to do a YouTube channel where that is your only choice. Where I'm like, Adam, we're going on a road trip and these are your 2 cars. You get 10 minutes with each one to decide which one you take on our 3,000-mile road trip. Yeah, if I could do this, if I had the money, I would go buy a Thunderbird and I would go buy a Fiat Multipla and I would sign you up and me up for 1 lap of America and make you choose one of these 2 pieces of shit.
But then do you drive the other one?
Yes.
Yeah? Is that what we're doing?
Yep.
So then I have to decide, do I choose the worst one? Or do I spite you and give you the worst one?
Yep.
Because on 1 lap, I feel
that's how we should have done this. The loser, the loser of your list, I have to take a 1 lap, and the loser of my list, you have to take a 1 lap. That's the world I want to live in.
It means I could have almost taken an HHRSS on 1 lap, Robbie.
Yeah.
I was so close.
Exactly.
That would have been great.
Yep.
Which means it wouldn't have made it nearly as far in your list.
You'd
have pulled that one off first because you wouldn't want it.
That's not that bad, really.
Yeah. I know how much he loves it. I wouldn't want that.
Yep.
Jesus.
All right, this is turning into a long show.
Let's shut it down, Robbie. I'm tired.
Remind everybody real quick that you want to get an Apex Pro. You don't even want to think about it.
No.
You just want it. Christmas is coming up. This is a great thing to ask for. Tell them to use the code 10tenths, get that window mount, get 10% off with that, the Gen 2 and the window mount. I was actually just going through my Apex Pro data because I was finally getting around to doing the overlays for the videos for PPIR. Had a few minutes between work and then getting stuff ready for the podcast. So I was like, yeah, let's kind of start working through that. So yeah, having the Apex Pro data, you can do stuff like that. So having an Apex Pro unit, whether it's the Gen 1 or the Gen 2, you get all the data so you can just pull it up in your Apex Pro app, which is a free app, and you can review all the data that you've had from the event that you were previously at. And then if you want to like get coaching and stuff too, Andrew and the guys over at Apex Pro offer that. That is also available on their shop. So it's apextrackcoach.com. Use code 10tenths. That's 10% off if you get a Gen 2 and a window mount. I can't wait to use my Apex Pro again here at Topeka.
Fun fact, the number one complaint I hear about the Apex system is that it's iPhone-based only.
Yep.
And there's still a percentage of you that refuse to accept that iPhone is a superior product.
That would be me.
And get rid of their Android bullshit.
I just used somebody's throwaway iPhone, and it's worked perfectly.
I've heard that the Andrew Rains and the boys have an Android developer on staff these days.
Yes, they do.
And that an app is in the pipeline.
So hang tight.
The only thing that I'm jealous about is that I would be willing to bet you. So I know I asked Andrew at this at one point, why there's not an Apple CarPlay app for Apex Pro.
Oh.
Because that would be fucking awesome if that could pop up on your dash.
That would make perfect sense.
And they have submitted and been denied more than once by Apple to be on the Apple on the CarPlay list.
Shoot.
I feel like that will be less of a hurdle for Android.
Oh, yeah.
And that I'm super jelly for.
Yeah, I don't think that would be a hurdle at all. It'd just be like, you want, like, here's the application and it's done already.
Yeah. That would be really neat to have that pop up on your dash.
Having stuff
some of your like real time telemetry pop up on the dash instead of having it on your phone, which is a much smaller screen and harder to see.
Yeah, no, that would be really nice.
That would be sweet to have like the live timing portions of it.
Yeah, just have it right there.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
No, that's super neat. Like, I mean, having Apple CarPlay or Android Auto it's a game changer. So
dude, I don't even want a vehicle without it anymore.
I get it.
I love it.
I understand.
Yeah. So that would be neat. That would be really cool to have that. And then like if you could put the car in park and have a playback feature on the screen instead of on your phone, like
just have it right there.
It'd be so cool.
Well, I mean, like when I had the C8 for one lap.
You had that Chevy's version.
Yep. So they have they don't have the data, but they just have a video recorder. So like I stopped, rewatched my autocross run, and I cut seconds off my next run because I was able to see where I was losing time. Yeah. So like having that would be, but like having the data, you can right go back. Having the Android app, what they have already, or
definitely the
Apex
most
Pro app.
The biggest advantage of Apex over some of the other data systems is its ease, how quickly you can get to it.
Immediately, as soon as you get off track, you don't have to upload it.
You don't have to upload it to a laptop.
Yep.
First, you can just pull your phone out of your pocket. You don't even have to get out of your car.
Yep. It's so convenient and it's so good. It's such a user friendly app. Like you just pop it up. You can it's so intuitive.
Yeah.
And then if there is anything you're questioning, Andrew and on their website or on their YouTube channel, they walk through a lot of that. So it's question free. ApexTrackCoach.com. Adam, we have decided some of the worst cars in the world.
Some of the best cars in the world. HHRSS.
Thunderbird.
Right there on the top of the best cars in the world list, Robbie.
And the P1.
My P1 didn't even make it out of round one, Robbie.
That's why they call it...
What sort of sick world is this?
That's why they call it October Madness.
October Madness. Think we can get sued for that?
Probably.
Sweet.
We'll catch everybody next week. Or 2 weeks.